I think we're ripping.
Back.
All right. Look at this.
Live in the studio.
Live in the studio. Can you guys, just because it's been a while, hear us? Can you see us?
We'll probably turn this a little.
This thing? Turn what?
We'll just
turn the camera?
So we cut this part out.
Oh yeah, we can do whatever we want. We got
yeah, there we go.
We got all the controls in the world here.
All right.
I did that because I'm gonna put our guest right
yeah,
here.
we do have to put the guest.
Oh, I guess right here, so you can scoot it.
Good thinking.
Here, listen, guys, we are on it. You guys are on it. We are ripping. Kyle Brief in the house. Mr. Joey K, Steve Segovia, Doc always in the house. Doc, I've got a box for you right in front of me. I'm looking at it. It's actually behind you guys in front of me. And it's got a nice little care package for you.
There you go.
Chris,
crushing.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Look at my eye. Right? Do you feel like it is healing pretty quickly?
I guess so.
I mean, I don't get a lot of black eyes, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
But considering I had a full-fledged black eye on Friday and Saturday, I'm talking
That is
like
pretty quick.
that's because I'm on the Wolverine peptides, dude. I swear. Again, I don't know much about,
Yeah.
healing and black eyes because I don't get enough, but surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
You'd think I'd have more experience with black eyes. We're getting, I think people should be punching me more, but they don't. And this eye was like, it was cooked the other day.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was black
It was
under
way
here.
way darker.
I'm going in. I'm saying it was the peptides, straight up.
How'd you get that again?
My pro peptides, Phil, is there's a link down below, but he's the man, dude. He plays paintball.
No.
How'd I get the black eye?
Yeah.
Marcelo punched me in the eye.
Yeah.
No, I was surfing, and it was you're on the Alpha Brain too.
Yeah.
This is firing from all cylinders here. Mm-hmm. So it was I was surfing on a little mediocre small wave. I was going backside, and I kind of did a little floater, and I was like, I'm gonna go back into this and try to do something cool. And then I went down, and I'm like, nah, and so I hit the eject, and I jumped off the front, and I just kind of covered, just went for a tumble, but my board got sucked up under the lip, and it just whapped me, just tomahawked me right in the forehead. If that hit me in the teeth, dentist. Yeah.
Did you feel a little woozy? Like it rattle your...
I thought for sure...
Some CTE?
I thought for sure that it was going to split open. I was waiting for blood to come out. I mean, it hurt. I couldn't, and here's the other thing. I couldn't sleep on my left side because of this, and I can't sleep on my right side because of my shoulder. So I was just super uncomfortable. Yeah.
Just banged up.
Dude, I'm cooked right now. Yeah. And then Sloan just graduated from kindergarten, essentially. So she had her little show. And I brought the boys down. There was no parking 2 blocks from the school.
Oh.
I'm going to carry these guys like this, and I didn't bring a stroller or anything because I thought I was just going to find parking. Just trudging. It was hot. It was tough.
Was Camille like, yeah, I'm sure it was a wave. Who punched you?
Yeah, I know. Everything. I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to do, I didn't say. Camille asked for a medium rare steak, and I cooked it medium, and she whapped me. That, I guess, was more believable than anything else. So anyway, welcome to another awesome episode of the Spicka Span Show. For everybody who's tuning in, the viewership has gone down slightly, as has the temperature of everything else that's going on right now. But we're gearing up for the WCPPL. We're gearing up for the Utah 15 ball second thing. Meter was just in town. We were hoping to get him down here today, but I think he's just cooking up.
Too much sun.
Golfing. Too much sun. And then
he said the flights out of San Diego were really expensive.
Yeah, they're outrageous.
Yeah.
Outrageous. So we got a lot of cool stuff going on and cooking here. We got a really good guest. I'm hoping that we get a little double guest here. And let's see here. We're working on. Let me see if he's gonna get in because he said I'm ready when you are. Waiting on you, pal. This guy. So, we've been out of town. Well, I've been out of town, and so we've been out of the studio for a little bit. But want to thank everybody for the last couple of weeks for sticking with us and supporting the show as much as you guys have. This is really cool, really awesome to see. Just how paintball's kind of come together, and everybody's really excited for this upcoming event. We've got back-to-back events coming up here leading into the summer. I'll be in St. Louis. So we got WCPPL weekend this weekend. Then I'll be in Utah playing against Aftershock with 15 balls a second Vendetta Paintball. You guys, I think there might be a link below if you guys want to.
Yeah, I saw
watch.
they're watching, showing it live now.
Yeah, there will be a live stream now too, which is pretty cool. Billy Summers, remember Billy Summers, Wild Billy? He's out there. He's gonna be helping with the production as well.
Nice.
Because that's what he does. He does that quite a bit.
I
tried to get you on the squad, but I guess you're practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah, lame. If you want to come bonus ball your boss, take the weekend off. You and Mouse want to take the weekend off and come bonus ball your old boss.
That could be good. We probably could have done that if you told me earlier.
I know. Well, we were kind of like, and we were trying to figure out what we were gonna do, and then everybody's like, we don't need extra guys. I'm like, 25-minute halves, 2 of them. That means 2 of them. It's a lot of paintball. And then Alex is like, I'm not even going. We're like, well, what do you even? Stop saying it's gonna be, no big deal.
Yeah.
Oliver is gonna come out. He maybe still will. We'll ask him here in a little bit. You know what I think I gotta do? I gotta send him the link.
Oh, you didn't?
No. Well, I mean, I have. It's the same link every time, but let me go ahead and make sure he has that, because there's a good chance he doesn't. He's just kind of like, what do you mean waiting on you? So then after that, I will be in San Antonio practicing X Factor. Who do you guys have for layout weekend?
I believe maybe Collision and Hume's team is coming out, and then also I think Ironman, I believe.
Okay.
For in Dallas.
In Dallas.
At Giant, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Giant Party Sports.
All right, so Collision's coming out to Dallas.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, neat. Okay, that'll be good. Joey K. Yeah, and Joe's coming in. I think Joe's gonna have iodine poisoning, mercury poisoning, or something. He's eating everything. It's like he's like Pac-Man going through there.
Yeah.
Just whatever you put in front of him, he is just absolutely just eating everything. And then Steve, I think Mr. Kev wants to come out possibly, and I think Dr. Doug might be coming out as well. So yeah, anybody else who's interested in pitting in Utah, give Mr. Steve Segovia a call.
Do I need to send Oliver?
I just sent him the link and we'll see what happens. There should be a little thing up there. Hopefully he has Zoom and doesn't have to do that. And then after that, we've got the Ohio event. Then we've got a summer break, but for most of us. But during the summertime, so right after Ohio, I'm going to be in St. Louis for a clinic at Adventure Valley Paintball. If you guys need more information, shoot me a message. I'll try to put a link here. I think I have actually. It's right here. I'll put a link in the chat if anybody's looking for that. And then we got BKI Summer Camp. So that's going to be coming up in July 23rd to the 25th. I'm also going to Ion, Invasion of Normandy. Big game. You don't even want to know about it, but it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic because I love big games. We're going to be... Dude, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
What's the theme?
I think it's like an Invasion of Normandy. It's like Americans versus like World War II theme. And it's been like a very common theme on the show for the last couple of weeks. You know? Cosplay is okay in a cosplay environment. And then if you got a bin under there, you just put your stuff in the bin and let it sit and marinate for the next year when you cosplay. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also doesn't pair well with just, persona. Anyway, we're not going to get into it. Let's just...
I was hoping that's what I was trying to give you a layup. You aced it pretty well. So. Glad it went the way I was thinking.
Listen, guys, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Then we got summer camp, and then we're back at WCPPL. It's supposed to be an ambush, but I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna, it's supposed to be an WCPPL event 3 is going to be an ambush.
Oh, I thought you were saying this weekend. I was like, huh?
No, yeah, you got your tickets to ambush. And then let's see, what else do we have? It's summer break, guys. What's everybody's summer plans? I have to figure that out because Sloan's out of school in 2 days, completely out of school, and everybody's like, summer? I don't know, September, like end of August. I don't really know. What do you do with kids? We tell ourselves every single year. We go, we got to get her in summer camp, and then if you don't book summer camp by like February, everything's sold out. So I'm gonna put her in a surf camp for a little bit, and
send her to the BKI summer camp.
I can send her to the BKI summer camp. I know that's like, it's pretty funny. I think every year for the BKI summer camp, there's like one group of parents, maybe 2, that are like, what are we gonna do with our kids? Shit. And they go online and they're like, paintball summer camp?
I think one time there was that one kid.
There was one kid. I don't think he'd ever played paintball.
He didn't
before.
know about paintball. They were just all summer
and they're
camp.
just like summer camp. Let's go book it. Done. Let's get rid of this little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the draft too when we're picking?
Yeah.
Sloan. Like,
yeah. Who's
Ryan,
getting Sloan?
Ryan, you have to take her. She's yours.
She better get playing time if she's on your guys' teams. Don't sit my daughter. So summer camp's an excellent. Anybody else in here going to summer camp? It's an all-time activity. Like, it's really good. Waiting to get in. Oh, look at that. Perfect time.
We want to do a little preview of summer camp. We need to ask Lori to.
Yeah, we'll get a little video going, but it's all inclusive. I think it's July 23rd to the 27th, something like that.
Yeah,
4 days
right.
of paintball. There's 5 pro player coaches. You eat, breathe, sleep. The whole deal is all paintball.
Mm-hmm.
Meals are like incredibly good, all included. There's all the paintballs you can shoot, all the water you can drink, all the paintball you can play, really, and it's excellent. It's really cool. We do film breakdowns at night. It's a pretty incredible experience. I wish I had something like that. We didn't even have clinics back in the day when I was growing up. So, a really, really good experience to be able to showcase your skills, to be able to meet new people, and then just to get better in general, build confidence, the whole shebang. So real quickly before we get our guest on, I want to thank everybody for tuning in again. Like I said, everybody who's a show supporter, you guys are awesome. We got some good prizes on the wheel. We've got a special prize going out to the boat members, which is one at the moment. So pretty sure you're gonna, Mr. Kev, your name's gonna hit it on the wheel. We'll got to show you guys that a little bit later. And then also to our show sponsors, Arfon and Gen X Global, for hooking it up with the pods for the team, for the pod caddies, for the viewers, and just making the best all around pods and being an awesome guy. I think that's a very common theme here amongst all of our sponsors. We got Junior and Gina from BFP Gear, really cool. We got the NECTR boys, yeehaw as they say. Have a good time. We're ripping. We got them. We got pucks for everybody who wins as well.
I like these new flavors.
The new flavors are good. These are caffeine only. The jalapeno lime, you can't get that right now, but we got it. Doc, you're gonna get some. So we're living off these as well. We've got
more caffeine.
More caffeine. That's what we need. Pate and Pate Smith Law. We had a nice little chat with him on Friday. Was it Saturday? Friday or Saturday? Saturday morning. Yeah, we had a nice chat with him Friday, Saturday morning. Talked about some stuff going on in life. Just, I always like it because anytime I've talked to Pate, I don't know if I've ever talked to him and he's not laying backwards like this, the camera above his head. I think he's always in bed.
Yeah.
This guy, when does he work? I don't know. But when he does work, he's working on your insurance claims. That was a good segue.
Yeah.
All right, without further ado, speaking of NECTR, let's get the NECTR projector up, and then we're going to get our boy, our friend, our pal here in the chat here. Let's see here. We got Feet Pick and Zoom.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. There he is.
My boy.
Dude, we missed you last week. My boy. Hey, turn your phone sideways.
I know. Oh, yeah, you like this way?
Oh, that's it right there.
Is that better? More sexy? We like sex appeal.
That's it. It is. Well, good morning. You're waking up with the Spicka Span Show. It's the best way to start your morning, I think. They say coffee is, but
that's right.
They say coffee or sunlight, but it is very clear to me that it's the Spicka Span Show.
You're guaranteed a successful day when you roll right out of bed, right into Spicka Span.
A guarantee's a guarantee. Someone taught me that.
Guarantee's a guarantee, bro. Who taught you that?
The late great Marcus Nielsen.
Our audio is down. They said.
The wise philosopher Marcus Nielsen.
Check. There we go. That was weird. I don't know how that just.
The wise philosopher Marcus
Nielsen.
Nielsen.
Wise philosopher. So how's it going, bud?
He was ahead of his time.
He was. That's why he's on ice right now. Cooling him down until he can come back and really.
What if he's just frozen, just waiting to come back?
Dude, him and Walt Disney
go right to the X.
Him and Walt ready to run up the middle.
like in Star Wars, you know.
That's it.
So you flew back home and then you're flying back out.
I don't know. Rin's got to get me my first class ticket. You know. Aftershock called also. They sent me a private jet. They said Todd Abson sending me a private jet.
This son of a bitch.
So, you know, just, yeah, first class Qantas or Emirates will work.
Emirates,
you know.
that's
Dude, you remember when you first came back after a while and you're like, I lost my status, you know, I got to pay for bags and whatever, I don't mind. Now you're like, first class Qantas, Emirates, I need to get come on. Roll me back. Roll me back.
It's just a joke, baby. It's just a joke. I'll take middle Southwest.
I'll take the Southwest flight from Bali, please.
Dude, Southwest is about to not be as cool.
They weren't ever
Southwest
very cool.
was never cool. Yeah,
No,
Southwest
but they did have
cool.
really quick, easy, and cheap flights where you got 2 free bags. Now they're gonna have to pay for bags, and I heard they're gonna mess with the seating too, so you don't get like.
Well, we never
seats.
liked Southwest, so we'll just still won't fly them.
It's all good. Not
It's
gonna
been good here though.
Not-
Southwest has been good here.
Not gonna bother me. Not gonna bother me one.
Not a
I
problem.
just don't understand. Oh, you hear echo on Ollie right now? Let me just turn this down. I know what it is. It's not Oliver. It's us. It's not you. It's me. So
No, it's me. It's me.
yeah,
You might
sorry
hear a
guys about
few
the,
roosters.
yeah, sorry guys about the audio. I think we're good now though. So anyway, yeah, you were just in town. You didn't come visit. I'm a little bummed. But I heard, but the event was cool, huh? A little bit of rain.
The event was great. Yeah, minus a little rain. Yeah, I wanted to come. I was gonna make my way there, but you know, just didn't make it. Montana was like a really highlight. I don't know if you've been to Montana before, but Montana was like a crescendo. So I didn't want to dumb it down with PB. You know, I didn't want to go.
You didn't want to go
Yeah.
to the open skies of Montana, hiking in the glaciers. That's where he was. He was gonna come on last week, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm in." And then he texted me like just a couple hours before the show. He's like, "Hey, we're hiking the glaciers. I think I might be a little late, or I might not make it. Sorry, dude. It's all good."
Yeah, sorry about that, and sorry for all the people that are watching. I was with, you know, Evan and these guys, and I said, look, I got to do this show at 5. Are we gonna be back in time? They're like, yeah, we'll be back. And like we started hiking at like 2 or 3, and it was like, okay, we might not be back because it was a long hike. So I had to message you then.
It's all
Luckily,
good.
it came through. Luckily, it came through because otherwise I would have felt like a real jerk if you didn't even get that text. So. You know.
Just no show. No, it's all
But
good.
I will say where I was pretty splendid.
Pretty second
I
rate
was
to the
in
Spicka Span Show.
it's a close second to Spick and Span. Similar view to your garage. It was a humongous glacier lake.
Just endless stuff to look at.
Yeah, and it was exactly endless stuff. We were in Glacier Lake. We hiked this trail called Avalanche, and I can't recommend it enough. It was probably my favorite hike I've ever taken. It was like really incredible. In Montana, man, if you haven't been to Montana, if I move back to America, I'm moving to Montana. It's so
man.
nice.
I've been to Wyoming a handful of times. I don't know if I've been to Montana. I might have, but oh wait, isn't that where? I think I might have gone on that cat skiing trip. It's awesome. It's just nature and very nice.
Yeah, it's like how people should be living. It's like open, fresh air, lakes, mountains. You know, it was incredible. So yeah, but I was there and I was just tired. I've been on the road for a month, so I went to Mexico. Then I did the grand finale. Then I went and visited my mom. Went to Tennessee, and then Montana. So I was just exhausted. I was ready to come home. Yeah. So you know. Sorry I didn't make it.
No, it's all good.
No, you're fine.
It's all good. Not really. Giving you shit as
It's
as
a
I
trek
understand
too,
giving you
flying
shit.
back to Bali.
It would have been great to see both of you guys and see Sloan, of course, and
Yeah.
then meet the two little beans.
I didn't tell her you might be coming, so she's not let down, so it's okay.
Okay, good. Yeah, don't ever do that.
Hey, what's the day to day out in Bali? How's your shop doing? It's pretty cool seeing that there's like people that go in there and like you have that little shop. Is that still rolling?
Yeah, I have 2 shops now.
Oh, sick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I want to get to like 5 is the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun. The day to day, it really depends on what the workload is, but you know, because we are in full production, and like what I mean by that is it's not like we just send our product somewhere and somebody else makes it. Like I make it all. So you know, I got to buy the material, I got to batik the material, I got to dye the material, then I got to come back, cut and sew the material, and then obviously ship the material, and then obviously also, you know, put it up for sale in the store. So, and then now we have just a massive line of stuff. You know, we're making pretty much everything. We've got, you know, especially Kyle's been to the store.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we've got a lot of men's shirts. We just starting a women's line now, so I'm going to dedicate one of the stores to Hormesis ladies. But so that's a lot of like kimonos and dresses and kind of just beautiful garments, because this stuff that we're making here, you just can't get it anywhere else. It's just nobody's making it like the way that we're doing it. So in Bali, it's very appreciated. I still think the paintball world in America doesn't really conceptualize what it means to make something with batik. We've tried numerous times to share with them, but in Bali and Indonesia, like batik is a pretty well-known method. So it's very prized and people appreciate it. Indonesians really appreciate it also, not only the tourists, but so it just depends. Like, so for instance, it's really fun actually when I leave and I get to come home, because there's like a lot of stuff to do, and I really enjoy working and I really enjoy making stuff, and I get a lot of inspiration while I'm gone. So now I've got just a massive amount of inspiration to make a bunch of really cool shirts. I'm going to start to make like one-off shirts that are like rad, like super high quality, well built, good material, natural dye, with just really designer. Kyle gets it, like really a designer shirt that like you can't buy anywhere else. So that's my plan now. I mean, I just finished the community line, so I shipped that out yesterday. So that's always fun. I don't know if you guys know how that works, but we pretty much just we have the Hormesis community. A lot of people are in there, great, sharing, posting. It's a little ray of sunshine in the internet world.
You kind of like bless. You kind of like highlight a player, right?
Not a player, just somebody that's in the community.
Right.
Somebody who's in there, who's talking, who's sharing, who's a lot of support happens in there, which is kind of rare in this day and age, let alone on the internet. A lot of people don't support people, but in there's a lot of support, and it's pretty cool. People post pictures of their kids and their dogs and their little collection, and it's just cute. So we pretty much just every year we pick a few people. We put a little vote out there, but for the most part, Alex and I get to choose them, just because we see how people are, and and we just kind of try to congratulate them for being a part of us, and we give them 10 bands, and they can sell them,
10,000.
so they make some money. 10,000 bands, yeah. and then we put some up for the site, and then people like each other, so they support each other and they buy them, and so we just had a pretty epic community line that just finished, that just shipped yesterday, and just kind of getting back into the swing of things, and it feels really good to be home and sleep in my own bed, man. It's like when you travel for a month, it's like, or even if you just go for the weekend, but like when you're out for a month, man, you're sleeping in so many different beds and so many different places, and you're just never getting quality sleep, and then you get home and you're just like, and my house is just a blessing. So I love my house and I love being here.
I like some of those headbands you guys just recently. I think I messaged you, sending them to you. Like, these are really cool. Forgot what they were.
I just made the Tiger Wear ones. I sent those yesterday. So I didn't make many of them. I just kind of wanted you guys to see them. If you want more of them, we can make more of them. But I made like 10 or something. And I made some with like the orange label for you guys. So
sick.
Alex will just give you guys those. You can do whatever you want with them, sell them or wear them.
Sick.
And then we'll probably sell a few of them.
Oh,
and
those
then,
are rad.
Yeah.
And then so that's a batik, and I can make you shirts too. I can more
Sick.
just for you and Mouse or whoever wants them. But I'll make
like
make
the
them
signature sponsored player shirts, like only sponsored guys get them. Dude, I love those lightweight shirts that you kind of change to. Like, I wear mine all the time. I went to that surf park. I was wearing it there. Like, get a lot of compliments on them. You like the really lightweight ones? Those ones are great.
Yeah. I think didn't I just send you like a little bundle?
I don't think so. At least I haven't got it yet.
No, I thought I sent you some, but
It might have been a while ago.
Oh no, I did. Yeah, how long ago? But like 6 months ago, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yes. Because you gave me the white shirt with the little the mushrooms on the back, and then and you gave me that the linen one, like a white linen one. That one's tight.
Yeah. Okay, well I'll send you some stuff today because I just got some new stuff. So.
I'm in, and we got the weather's warming up, so it's about to be time to wear our Spicka Span tanks. Those are good.
We need tanks.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those
We
are
can
good
make
with
some
the little
more. We
button on
can
the side.
anything you want. We can do some more. It's just be concise with what you need. So yeah. And then I'll make you some Tiger Wear stuff, and then you can do whatever you want. You can wear it or You know,
Sick.
if you want to make more, we could produce some too. But you know, I'm a fan of Tiger Way.
Love it.
Hey, we had a question from Sharisa. Did you where was it? I think it was something about are women's clothes going to be making it to the U.S. at all?
Probably not in 2005. 2025, sorry. Definitely not in 2005. Probably not in 2025. But definitely in 2026. Yeah, we're getting pro. We're turning pro. Miko's really been working hard, and you know, we just did that spring summer drop, and we're getting more concise, and you know, Alex is motivated, so we're turning pro. I mean, you know, it's been 5 years now, and we've kind of been, you know, shooting from the hip, but so to say. I'm a good hip shooter, so are you, Rin. And,
yeah, these ones with the Sonic.
Yeah, that's a headband. Yeah.
I just blessed up a player of the day, and I had a.
This Leon one I liked. Was cool with
I don't know,
the embroidery.
it was Mega Man or someone. Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like Invisible Man or something.
Oh, that one's like part of a revenge series. I think that's like the Professor or something like that.
Leon. Yeah, you're
Professional.
right.
Yeah. That was Alex's idea. Yeah.
That guy's dope.
Yeah, we've been, you know, headbands are fun. Kind of running out of ideas, but the shirts and clothes are really inspiring. So to answer a question, we can also always help anybody out via WhatsApp through the Hormesis Attire Instagram. My staff will help anybody, and we'll have a full line of women's here probably the next month.
Sick.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, you're doing such a good job with that stuff, and it's like a breath of fresh air. I know that sometimes, like, we talked about it a million times, like, not everybody gets it, right? I mean, fashion is fashion, right? That's always that funny thing. It's like, you'll never get it. It's fashion. But some of the cool, like, this shirt I've had for, I think was one of the very first shirts that came out with World Cup, with that one with like all the paint splatter kind of looking all over it. With that, it's like some artist did it. I guess there's a face inside of it.
That was a Miko.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is like one of my favorite shirts. I'll wear this thing, and I get compliments on it. I mean, it's loud. It's like, it's a lot to process, but I love this shirt. This is so cool. And there's a face in the background. You see that face?
Yeah, it's like a painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's a famous artist, Ben.
Dude, I love this shirt. You know, because it's different. Yeah. You can kind of wear it anywhere, and it's funny because, like, again, a lot of things what you do is a lot more. It's like loud. It's like kind of like some of the stuff is kind of louder in your face, or it's just different with all the repeating patterns. It's not just a regular print stamp somewhere like this, you know.
Totally.
And it's kind of cool because it's slightly more expensive than like a random other article of clothing, but when you wear it, you get there's like a different vibe that you get, right? Like, people see it and they recognize it, and they're like, that is noticeably cooler than a regular old graphic tee. And so it's like the juice is totally worth the squeeze in that sense. And then on top of that, like, a lot of the stuff is very limited. And like you were saying, you're gonna make some that are just, and randomly too. It's like, it's not like we're gonna do 50 of every drop. It's like sometimes you make 30 of them, sometimes you make 2, sometimes you make 100. Like, it's just such a great way to kind of do things, and then try to constantly be finding the best method, right? Always testing the method.
Yeah, I feel like the last few years, considering like I have no clue what I'm doing, it's been a lot of trial and error, you know, and learning, because there's so much to it. I mean, still, like, I don't think it's, you know, we do these things, even paintball, it's like you want to just keep learning, and I think once you stop learning, you just kind of die. And so, like, getting into this was really very eye-opening in what it takes to build a quality product and to build a shirt. Like, we've always been into fashion. I mean, Ryan, you've got an incredible fashion sense now. Yeah, it's true. When you at Archie's wedding, you were the best dressed for sure. And I feel like a shirt is one of these interesting things that if you wear it, people are funny. They're like, "Oh, I just wear the shirt for a special occasion," but it's like, fuck, man, every day is a special occasion. You might get laid, you might meet a business partner, you might, it's just whatever. It's that's how I feel when I put on one of my shirts. It's like, man, it's just a good day. And I noticed recently, actually, there was like, it's a while ago, but I was kind of like in a little mini funk, and I went into my closet and I just picked like a black t-shirt or something. I was like, why am I wearing a black t-shirt today? And I realized I just wasn't feeling so good that day. And so that's the day that I was just kind of trying to hide from society. And then I was like, man, I think a lot of people just are trying to hide from society. But when you wear one of these shirts, you can't hide, and someone's gonna come to you, talk to you, someone's gonna say hi to you, someone's gonna compliment you, and you're forced to be into an interaction with someone. And actually, I think that's the beauty of life, is really getting into interactions with people. You don't know, this person could be your best friend, you know, this person could be your new business partner, this person could be, you know, just an amazing character in your life. So it's like, it's important to put something on and go out in the world and be ready to, you know, introduce yourself to the world, you know.
No, that's super interesting, and I kind of like, I love it, like the idea of kind of breaking out of your shell and doing things, because that's like, originally I'd be like, I don't know if this isn't really me.
Yeah.
You know, but it's kind of breaking out of that shell. So note to self also, if you're planning on committing a crime or robbing someone, don't wear a Hormesis shirt, because you're going to be noticed a little bit more. Go with white or tan or gray or black.
Ski mask.
But it is interesting about being noticed, right?
Yeah.
Is a lot of people, you know, it's like a lot of people just kind of fly under the radar. I'm a big solid tone shirt kind of guy, right? But I love like wearing something a little different. That's why I really like those button-up shirts. 'Cause I don't wear many button-up shirts, but just they fit so well and just kind of like flow. It's a different type of mentality once you put them on, or put on something different like that shirt you're wearing right there. You know,
I was just watching something about exactly this conversation. I forget where it was. If it was on, I saved it somewhere, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram Reel or something. But they're talking about exactly that. You know, it's like a lot of these brands and these companies, like the clothing apparel brands, a lot of them sometimes don't even do massive logos and stuff all over, or even a logo at all. It's more so about like the consumer that's buying it, you know, believes in the brand. Yeah, I think it was just branding at all, or like why you don't see brands change their logos a lot too, because you resonate and you have trust in the brand, and also like what it means to you. You know, what's that brand about? Why do you support it? How does it make you feel when you purchase it and you're wearing it, even if it's not allowed? It's not like, you know, wearing a big Gucci logo or something on your shirt. You're not.
Yeah, that's right. Every brand, sports brand, they all stand for something. And I think that's why I like Nike, and you know, I like, you know, there's certain classical brands that are, you know, they show elegance and the timelessness of an era, you know. And then so that's also why brands take a while to really get off the ground, you know. I mean, in terms of like a real quality brand, it takes time. So I feel like we're still obviously new and beginning, and you know, that's just the you know, we're just kind of babies walking. Are your babies walking, Rin?
Yeah, we got Parker's walking. He think 12 steps might be his record right now. Miles,
that's quick, because I haven't seen him in 2 weeks and they weren't before.
Oh no, yeah, they're cooking now. And then we've got Miles is like, it's interesting because with the twins, gestationally, like when they're in the womb, Parker was like stealing the blood from, or like the nutrients from Miles. So Miles is like not significantly, but smaller, like by 2 pounds at the moment. And so he was always like technically older, right? Mm-hmm. So everything that Parker does, Miles is about 2 weeks behind. You see that one like flying right there? Get that one.
So yeah, Hormesis is kind of like Parker right now.
So I wrote something down, which I think is kind of interesting about the whole, just for, I guess, your journey over the past, it's been like 10 years or 15 years, but you mentioned something like you're about learning in just how to do what's going on with Hormesis, and just kind of like learning. You're constantly learning, you're like constantly evolving and constantly trying to perfect little things. And I think you have a tattoo that says something, practice is perfect, practice makes perfect, or something like that. And tell me about the importance of constantly taking on new tasks to learn, maybe to change things up or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what you were saying, you know, to when you're wearing just that muted shirt, and then you put on something new and you go out, and you know, it's somewhat uncomfortable, but there's some type of medicine or some type of yield from that. And you know, paintball was the first thing that really did that for us, or for me especially, where I felt like, okay, this is hard, I don't understand this, you know, how do we get proficient at this? And then once you dedicate time to something, you start to learn the ins and outs of it. And I have always just been this person who wants to figure things out, and I want to evolve in that process of figuring things out. Like, I'll even just go and go to a painting school just because I want to learn what it's like to paint and what it goes in. It might not necessarily be my purpose or the thing, but I want to learn, like, how do you make a painting, you know? So I just want to learn how things work because I'm genuinely curious. And I feel like that's that innocence of being a child. You're just, you know, every kid is curious, and then they get shut down one day and they stop learning, and they just, you know, go to into a specific profession and could dwell in that for the rest of their life and die, you know? And it's like, I just don't want to live like that. I want to continuously push myself into uncomfortability, and in that I gain strength and wisdom, and like I'm at a place now where I finally feel like I actually truly know myself, you know. And I still think there's a lot more to learn, you know, but it's a process. So the process of evolving, you know, like I'm just not 20 years old anymore. I'm 40, you know, so now it's like a totally different new me. And I feel like, dude, you know, as awesome as your career has been, and you know, as much as I've seen you grow too, Kyle, it's like, man, we still are just beginners here on this planet, you know? And it's like, I really felt that when I hit 40 was like, oh, I just arrived, you know, I'm just getting going. And I feel like there's so much more to do. And the true gold I got from paintball was like, I got that wisdom of learning how to do something at a very high level and becoming very proficient in it, and recognizing what it takes to do something like that, and then knowing from that point on that I have the confidence to do that into any category that I jump into, you know. So then it's more of like a personal choice of you know, interest, you know. So like, for instance, like fashion or getting into this, like I never thought about that. Like that was, you know, I never was like, hey Ryan, I want to own a t-shirt company or a shirt company or a fashion company. It just kind of happened. And then you take on that endeavor, and then in that endeavor you gain something. And I don't want to be doing this forever. Also, I'm also, you know, like I retired early in a sense now, but like I just recognize the more you put into something, you get something, and then there's another thing to go and get and to do. And that's just how I live my life. I feel like, man, it's just begun. 40, I feel like 50 I'm going to be Richter, 60 I'm going to be even better, you know, 70 I'm going to be even better. So it's just like, you know, a continuous 10-year cycle of evolutions. You know, I woke up early this morning, I had a meditation, and kind of something came to me, and it was like, honestly, man, I want to be a medicine man, you know. I'm an aspiring medicine man. I want to help people, you know. I'm not there yet, but I do think that that's coming, and all these little things that I do along the way are little aspects of the tool belt that I'm building. So, you know, that's just kind of my philosophy on growing into being a man, you know. And I see you guys doing it, you know, the way that you've grown with having kids and how who you've become. We all have different paths in it, you know. I will say that the parenting one seems to be very difficult for me. I don't know if I can do it, but I really tip my hat to the people who can do it, because there's a lot of growth and evolution in that, you know. But everybody's got their different routes, you know. So, you know, everybody's doing it also to a certain degree. It's just how aware are you of it?
What would you say to people who are in a funk? If like, I think it kind of comes from overcoming failure or being afraid to fail again. Because I think that one of the big things, as you're saying, kind of all these things you've learned, you're like, that's for me, or that's not for me, or I want to do that, or I want to try this. And it's like, you can kind of pick and choose and begin to trail off in each direction or whatever it might be. But what would you say to people who are in a kind of a funk, that are just like in this routine, they're like, I'm just kind of like treading water, or I'm just kind of sitting here and I don't know if there's going to be change because I'm a little afraid to jump out and try something different, because I'm kind of comfortable in this groove, but I'm just not quite happy with it? I think that's a big one.
Totally. It's a huge one. I mean, I just think in general, you have to track your life, and that's why you need a little bit of perspective. That's why age I think is actually really valuable. You know, when you're 20, you don't know who you are. You don't know what you're doing. You know, luckily we had paintball to focus on, but like, ultimately, if you're in a funk, that's just a signal that, you know, there's something that needs to change. And, you know, there is uncomfortable waters that you need to tread. And then once you get confident in treading that uncomfortable territory, and actually you can never be uncomfortable again. And, you know, so if you're in a funk, you know, just recognize where that is and what that is. And, you know, figure out a decisive plan to navigate through it and out of it. And ultimately, all these things are just little tiny signals pointing you into the direction that you need to go. You know, and a big take that I took from this Mexico trip that I just went on was like, man, we're all kind of blanketing some type of deep wound or some type of thing that we're not confident enough to step up into. And I feel like that's for everybody. And of course, there's just an onion. You could probably say, okay, I didn't have, you know, this connection to my dad, or I didn't have this, you know, loving mother, or I didn't have friends, or I didn't. All these things are layers to the onion, but there's definitely a core aspect that I think if you can get to, you can heal all those things, and then you can really triumph into become who you're supposed to become in this experience of being whoever you are, being Ryan Greenspan, being Kyle Spicka, being Oliver Lang, you know? And it's a process. It's not you're just done at 20, you know? Like I feel like I watch all these young influencers on Instagram and they're like, yeah, I got it all figured out. It's like, man, it's a long time, dude. Like people say life is short. I disagree. Life is fucking long. Life is long and there's a lot to do.
It's when the perspective changes. Like when we're on the Spick and Span episode 1300, and we're 80 years old, we're gonna go, all right, listen up, whippersnappers. Life is short, right?
Well, hopefully it evolves into something. Hopefully it evolves into something bigger. You know, it's not just if you're still doing Spick and Span show at 80, I might have to slap you guys.
That's true. Good point.
You know, it could be like
it'll be a reunion tour.
Yeah, you could do a reunion tour. You know, and that's also kind of, you know, I know we're gonna get into Elite 101, but you know, the process of playing paintball and getting and doing what we've done within the industry. What I'm recognizing now is it doesn't end, Ryan, with your career of what you've won. It's actually not even it. Mm-hmm. There's so much more to it, you know, and you stepping up, even just taking, you know, making the Spick and Span show, that's a new, you know, level of this thing. And so that's kind of what I feel like Elite One-on-One, Hormesis, it's taking me to a greater level of my mastery in the sport. It's beyond the playing aspect of it, you know. And I was actually
trying to cultivate.
I was actually talking to Rich Telford about this today. You know, it's like because he's always been kind of a friend and mentor to me, and you know, he was a very crude competitor, and you know, it's hard to play against Rich. But now working with Rich on this Elite 101 project, I've recognized that like there's a new layer of competition, which is collaboration, you know, and I've been saying this for a long time. I just feel like once we are all done playing the game and we all move into owning our own businesses, owning our own leagues, owning our own fields, owning our own, you know, gun companies, whatever it is, like I really feel like this sport's gonna, bless you, I feel like this sport's really gonna go into another level because we'll be coming at it from a collaborative aspect, not a competitive aspect. And while you play, and this is why I couldn't play anymore, is like I just didn't have the competitor in me anymore. I actually want you to win. I want, you know, like I love watching you win, Ryan, and not be there. I love watching Kyle have success. You know, I want Tiger Ware to blossom and bloom. You know, I'm actually rooting for everybody. And you can't do that as a competitor. You know, you're just kind of like in that limited space. Like, this is for me, only for me. I can only win. Nobody else can win. You know, if anybody else wins, I hate them. You know, and that's kind of how I was, you know.
Yeah, you guys definitely have a really, I don't even know what the right word for it is, but I'd say different, unique perspective on business and an outlook, which is such a, I think we've said it on the show, but like a breath of fresh air to see that you can have a competing, quote unquote, competing company in the industry, but still be supportive of each other. I think that's if the world were even 1% better in that sense, we would be all in such a good place. And it's that I think is like such a great lesson learned, and it takes people, like almost a lot of people can't quite even comprehend or understand it. Like it's like, what are these guys up to, you know? And it's, yeah, we want people to succeed. Now I understand the competitive side of things. I'm obviously really competitive, and didn't seem like when we were playing that one-on-one, you wanted me to win. But Um, but I know what you mean, right? Like I'm kind of like I don't know who. Obviously, I want us to win. I'm always rooting for ourselves, but at the same time, when we get knocked out, or if there's like any kind of hiccup, we're like, all right, well, I hope this swath of people to win are going to win. I love the idea of that people can all be successful because it's just great for everybody. And hopefully, you're hoping that there's like this level of understanding that if people are just kind of all rooting for each other, it's going to be great. Which is also kind of why I've always been so reluctant, or just actually reluctant, just been flat out no, when people are trying to pitch these shows and like, all right, hey, what we need is, I forgot what show it was, but like, we need you guys to talk shit about each other. And like,
oh yeah,
no. Yeah, can you say this? And you're like,
it's like if we wanted to do something for like paintball stuff.
Yeah, some paintball stuff, and you're like, I'm not gonna talk shit about this other guy on the camera. It's not worth it. There's no, it's just such an odd thing. Like
but so like I got really into. I've been studying a lot of sports in this process of unveiling the Elite 1-on-1, and it's kind of like actually why wrestling is just so incredibly powerful and profound is they have this there's a term, it's called kayfabe, and it's kind of like this old carnival lingo where when you're in on the joke, you're in on the joke and everybody else isn't in on the joke, right? So in wrestling, it's fake. Wrestling is fake. I don't know if you know that, but it's fake.
Tell John. Can you text?
Ryan just didn't
can
know
you
about
text
that,
Johnny Perchak, because I think that Johnny still thinks it's real.
Yeah. So the thing is so because he's part of the outsiders in the inside joke. So the world wants to believe that it's real, but there's already a perceived outcome. Like this guy's gonna win. Then they have a heel and they have a baby face, which is a good guy and a bad guy, and those guys are buddies. So it's like you guys are buddies. But for the show, for the excitement, to sell tickets, you need to talk trash about Kyle, and Kyle needs to talk trash about you, because the modern society feeds off of that, you know? And they love it, right? And yeah, it's not fake in a sense. Like people do hurt themselves and get hurt and hurt each other, but this guy's going to win, and that's how it's going to unfold. And you're going to say this about him, and sometimes it's scripted, and sometimes it's what's really cool about wrestling is if you haven't seen it, you should watch the McMahon movie.
I know, I want to watch that. I keep meaning to.
It's good, but what's cool about it is they blur the lines so well, and so that's what makes it so interesting. You don't know whether it's real life or absolute theater. And also, that's just modern day politics. I mean, Donald Trump is a professional wrestler. He's got IMDb. He's an actor. So he's whether he's pulling your strings or not, or you're on his side, there's a show going on, and that's what sells tickets. And so I do think that there's some value to do that in paintball to a certain degree, but authentically, yeah, you can't talk trash. You respect the guy, you respect your competitor. And that's the difference between true competitive sports and, WWF or even UFC now is like that too. UFC was purchased by the big conglomerate that owns WWF. So I don't know if UFC is fake either, but it's close.
I think that one's more of a combat sport, but I think that it leading up to it, all the shit talking is some of it's manufactured, because you need that. They know what sells tickets. You're absolutely right. Like that's the way the news only shows specific stuff. It's like, oh cool, this person was this person was rescued. Well, hold on, were they rescued on like a side of a cliff? Because we can sell that, right? Yeah. We need some sort of excitement to like make it rip, right? Yeah. So
that's also what's cool
baby.
About the one-on-one. Mm-hmm. Sorry. What's cool about the one-on-one is like, okay, I don't know if you guys watched the Olympics this year, but I used to skateboard, so I watched the skateboarding aspect of it. Kyle and I are big skateboard fans, so we always send each other skateboard stuff. But what I love about skateboarding, and if you look at skateboarding now, dude, they're better in real life than they are in Tony Hawk. Like they literally have surpassed video game possibilities, and they're doing crazier stuff than they could even program in video games. So that's incredible. And I believe the way that came about is that skateboarders, although they're competing, they're continuously pushing each other to do that, 900, right? Tony Hawk does that. Once he does that, he sets that bar, and then everybody is clapping. It's not like, oh shit, Tony did the 900, I don't like him, right? So like if Damage wins, I'm like, I don't like Damage, I don't want them to win, right? But like if you're playing as an individual, I can root for you because I like you and I like your work ethic, I like your style, I like what you bring, I like your character. So now I'm in one-on-one, I'm actually cheering for you even if I'm competing against you. And we're pushing that envelope of greatness, which is like what they did in skateboarding. And you can still have those feuds, kind of like a WWF, where this guy's talking smack to this guy and this guy's talking smack to that guy, and you know it's for the show, and then ultimately the competitor, the true contender, wins. You know, which is kind of like also like what you said in UFC.
Yeah, snowboarding isn't there. They like just keep doing.
They just keep spinning. They just keep spinning.
Where are they at now? Like 21.
I don't even know. I just saw something where some guy just broke the record, and their cameras are so much better. The camera angles that they have for snowboarding, because they're in the air for so long, that is absolutely like that's something else what they're doing. I forgot what it was. It was someone in the comments probably knows.
Yeah, again, because when you push that envelope, you know, like so for instance, Tony Hawk does the 900. Now I see there's some like 9-year-old Japanese kid who does like 4 900s in a row. You know, like it's not just
40.
one 900. He's like.
23.
And so then what happens when you push those envelopes, then now the technology gets more interactive, right?
Right.
So that's something that we haven't done in this sport.
It has to catch up.
You know, it has to the tech has to catch up with the quality of play. And like I watch Go Sports, man. I subscribe. I watch. You know, this is how I tune in with you guys. And I feel like, and again, no jab at Go Sports, they're doing really good, but I feel like something is lessened of the quality in terms of, I think, maybe less cameras or something, or maybe cameras in different places, but you don't really get that. And then I watched the, what was the old one? The other one that Matty used to do? The, when it was PSP? Paintball Access. I watched that. I watched one of our games, actually, when we're playing Heat in the finals in some place, and it was freaking good. And I'm like, whoa, what happened? You know, so it's interesting. So we have to do something about the tech versus also the quality of play. You know?
Yeah, that's an interesting
and
one
I
too,
think,
right?
again, that's a thing that also I think that the duel can do.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit too, because it's actually kind of interesting because Joey K here in the chat asked a similar question, and Junior sent me a question last week from BFP Gear, question of the day. He said the Hormesis 1v1's been a big hit with everybody, really. We're actually going to be doing that. We're going to have a field set up at the summer camp similar to it. And he said, how would you like to see it grow and evolve moving forward? And Joey K, funny enough, because Joey scouts for us and talks with Junior a lot, he was like, what's the 5 and 10 year plan for Hormy? But yeah, how would you like to see the 1v1 kind of grow and evolve?
Okay, good question. So like we just did the grand finale, and we can get into the details on that here in a little bit. I'm sure you got some questions on that. What we did with that, which actually worked out, I think, better, because the original plan was to do it in Bangkok, and that was just kind of going to be like a cool event. But obviously that didn't work out, and it kind of shattered me a little bit, to be honest, that didn't work out. But with that being said, we executed something much more prolific than we would have done in Bangkok, you know? So we just filmed like an epic show. Miko directed it. Alex was there interviewing. You know, we had all of the characters dressed professionally. The field was tight. Like, I don't know if you've ever...
I've heard nothing but good things about that. Hey, Oliver, can I just pause for 1 second? Justin Hodges is in. Do you want to can we get him on real quick and continue this?
Yeah, sure. So you want me to keep going on the while you get him in?
Yeah, we're gonna say because he's on a break, or we're gonna find out actually. Because I wanted to get him on last week and he had to work, and then this week I was like, hey, you got to work, and he's like, I'm actually off, but I'm super busy. I said just jump in for a couple minutes. I just want to just quickly chat here, say hi and congratulations.
Cool.
Justin, your camera is off. So when you jump in. But yeah, Oliver, you can keep going here for... Oh, there you go. There he is. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. Hey, will you... thanks for coming on. I know you're super busy.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I'm just hanging out with a buddy, so...
Oh, okay.
It looks like you're in San Fran.
Yeah, you're in San Fran.
Okay, there it is.
Will you turn your phone sideways? I know it's kind of awkward to hold, but it fills up the screen. There we go. Hold on.
So that's Hodges, bro. Hodges is the phenom, dude. He's what are you, 17 or 18 now, Hodges?
I'm 18 now, yes, sir.
There you go. And you know, I mean, Ryan, it kind of warms my heart when an 18-year-old kid, you know, that's where we were, what we were doing, and how we became great. That's about the age, you know, young age that we started or got really going.
Dude, Spider
so
Cup.
Nice to see that.
I won
and so,
a car at 18.
That's right. So he just won 15 grand cash.
Dude, sick. That's so tight.
What are you gonna do with that cash, Justin?
I kind of want to buy a car, and then just like I want to save a good bit of it though. Like I don't want to spend it all. Yeah.
He's like, I already quit my job. I was working last week. It was my last day. I said, get out.
So what's up for you now, Justin? So you know you're taking paintball pretty serious. You joined the Hurricanes. You know you just won this. You made a name for yourself in the industry. Like what's going on for you?
Just getting better, you know. Just learning as much as I can. Is that like, yeah.
So what was the journey like? Did you practice for it? And then where do you play right now? What's your home field? Let's give us some of the deets here.
Oh yeah, I play out of LAX Stream. All the Canes play out of there, or most of them do. And yeah, we did a practice tournament of the duel, and that really helped me. It just like boosted my confidence and got me ready for the Hormesis duel. And yeah, I did a lot of 1v1s against all the Canes and everything. That really helped me a lot too.
Did they beat you or did you beat them?
It was really close actually. I think it's pretty even. Just back to back.
Love that. I think a lot of 101s get you a lot of street cred. Like I know when Sheer just went to Damage Dry, there was like a 101 tournament and he just came over there and mopped all the damage guys up and they were like, okay, this kid's really good. Mm-hmm. So like when you and you know probably the same with Hodges there, he probably went and smashed up the Hurricanes who are pro guys and he's 18 and they're like, okay, let's pick him up, you know?
Yeah.
And then I feel like the other game will evolve in that process. But now you've got your foot in the door. You're on a pro team. You know, people know your name, and then now it's time for you to take it into that next, you know, Greenspan caliber of play. You know,
for sure.
Yeah. What is your paintball plan? Like what?
Paintball plan?
Yeah. Are you in school right now? Are you?
I just got out of school. I graduated last week.
Wait, in high school?
Yes, sir. I did.
Dude, you graduated last week, so you had won the $15,000 and you got to show all your boys at school?
Yes.
Dude, how tight is that?
It was amazing.
That's so sick. That's so cool, man.
Yeah, what do your peers think?
It was just crazy. Paintball with $15,000, they couldn't believe it. They didn't realize it was like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, it's not like that. We're trying to make it like that.
It's not. That's a good point, Oliver. What did your parents think?
Yeah, I mean, I remember even in high school, you know, winning tournaments and like, you know, going to Paris and then coming back and making like $1,000 or $2,000, and my peers were like, "Wait, what are you doing?" You know, even my mom, you know. So I think that's also why paintball hasn't really blossomed recently. Is like, you need that excitement, you know, you need that why, you know, mm-hmm. And like this gives it a why, you know, and now Justin's parents were there, right? That was cool. His mom and dad were there, his brother, you know, so it was a whole family affair. How are they treating you now? Do you not have to do the dishes or anything?
Oh no, I still cleaning up all the time. That won't go away. I don't know. It's nice. Want me to work harder, of course.
Were they
gotta work harder. I mean, they were at first. Then my brother was like, "You sucked. You need to do better." And I was like, "Yes, I know."
All right. Well, there he goes. That's pretty sweet. What do you think about the format overall? Do you I mean, obviously you love it because you won it, but prep wise and just kind of like how you can focus on that aspect, what were the challenges and like what do you think about it?
I really loved the format. It like as soon as I started practicing for the 1v1s, my game it skyrocketed. I feel like it works on so many different skills. It just lets you evolve as a player. Like the practicing leading up, there's so many great opportunities to get better.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it's so like you have to be so sharp and fine, and everything has to be perfect. really works on a lot.
Definitely keeps the reaction.
Yeah, and it's
time
easy
short.
to do, you know. That's the whole real premise of this is like 16 bunkers, 80 feet by 40 feet. You know, like I don't understand why every field hasn't set this up. I don't understand why every person isn't just doing this. Again, it's you have to recognize this is an amplification for the other stuff, and just like Justin said, with a small amount of time, you get sharp and you get refined, and then you become better, and then all of a sudden now you're on a pro team like Justin is in a year, you know, of doing this, you know.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting one, right? Because okay, so one of the big things, and this is why, Oliver, I think that you got like I don't want to say pushback, but just seems like a lot of pros aren't interested, which is why I love that Alex and you did the coin duel thing, because that obviously broke down a lot of barriers for pros playing. I know I played a lot more 1v1s against kids and stuff, but tell me about, and maybe Justin, you know, like some of the barriers to playing one-on-ones. Like, what is it that a lot of people don't like about one-on-ones? Like, I mean, you're younger, so maybe it's easier for you, or you're just like, yeah, I want to play everybody. I want to play as much paintball as I can. But do you see that there's kind of like some people who are reluctant to play?
Yeah, I think maybe people are just scared because it really shows all your weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. And then for
There
you, coming up in the ranks, like playing against pro guys, like what do you do to overcome that? Like that, just kind of.
I kind of just don't think about it, I guess.
Yeah,
like
you just don't care, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's fearless, you know,
Yeah.
and that's an aspect. I feel like that's what we had also, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's also what makes you a good player, because anybody who is afraid okay, let's just be freaking frank, you know, it's like if you have weaknesses and you're actually trying to become proficient at this thing, you need to highlight your weaknesses so that you can overcome your weaknesses. If you just hide in the shadows of your team and you think you look like a good player and you've got a nice outfit and a nice gun, that's just not enough to really do this thing on a high level. If you've got weaknesses, like the first thing I ever wanted to do was figure out what I'm bad at so that I can correct it instantly, and then I'm not bad at it anymore, and then now I'm actually very proficient at this thing, you know. So Justin's kind of got that same mentality, which is rare, you know, in this modern day time. You know, like pros are still hiding behind other pros saying, I'm really good at this, look at how cool I am, look how much money I make, but you're actually still pretty whack, if you ask me, you know. Like there's a lot of improvement that can still happen on the pro level, you know. And if you have reservations on playing one-on-one, that's a sure tell sign that you're hiding, you know. So like to be like a Justin, where you just don't even think about those things and you just go out there and you do them, and then you correct your blind spots. That's how you improve, you know.
Well, that's it. I think that there's. I mean, I can also personally, like, I should play more one-on-ones. I mean, we did a little one-on-one thing at the beginning of the season, and with the team, and that was kind of it. And I think that, like, obviously the more time you can spend at the field, all this stuff, and you say it made you a better overall player, right, Justin?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. Chris, I'm good at dying. Well, then what would you say is the hardest part about one-on-ones? Like, what do you think is what's the one thing that you're like, I really like, what was your crutch, I guess?
Like a crutch? Like what helped me?
Well, no, sorry.
Weakness.
Your weakness.
Let's see. Just like reaction time, I guess. Like,
yeah.
You see them do something, you need to counter it really, really quickly.
Well, let me jump in real quick,
Yeah.
because this is something that I've tracked a lot now, and it's pretty much just inexperience, you know. So, for instance, like Justin's proficient snap shooting, you know, all these types of things, and a lot of guys are that also. But you have to have experience, because in the duel, when you get down a few points, it's just like being down a few points in the regular format. Like that's why Dynasty, you know, it rises to the top in those difficult moments, because they have so much experience in that, doing that, where other teams don't, and then Dynasty magic comes through. So like for Justin and a lot of people that I've watched who are good players, if they don't have the experience or the time spent doing something, and like, you know, in the duel, you know, 20 seconds between points, there's a time crunch and you have a lot of pressure on you, you know. So I watched a lot of really good players falter just due to the lack of experience, where I feel like Justin obviously Justin played it a lot. You know, he played it the first year, he took second place. He played it the second year, took first place, and then now he won the grand finale. So in a little amount of time, he superseded the lack of inexperience by having the experience. You know.
Interesting. So, Oliver, what were you saying again? This kind of like, what are the? Do you have ideas on 2026 locations?
Yeah. So just to kind of, I'd like to ask Justin a few questions because I want to get to that question because there's a lot of probably intel I want to share more about this because Justin doesn't have that much time. But so Justin, like, how was it? Like in terms of physicality, like, did you get burnt? Were you tired? Like, what matches were the most difficult? Did you go into like a second gear after a certain match? Like, like I want to, because I haven't played it as much as you have. So I'd like to know, like, is it actually hard? Like, is it physically hard?
Oh, 100%. It's crazy on your body. That first match at the finals duel, the mud was so like thick and my legs couldn't move anymore. That's what gassed me out. So I was gassed from the start. It was rough, but like I did have to cut into second gear. Like it was pretty rough.
Yeah, I think like if you do it in one day, like we do it, it's a lot of matches. I mean, I could probably count your matches, but I would say it was probably up into the 60s or 70s, 70 points in one day.
Damn.
Right.
Damn.
What about going into that match with Clayton with Rizzardo? Like, did you feel like he had an upper edge? Because he's a pro, he's pretty good. Like, were you worried about him?
To be honest, I was, because he was really confident. Like, he was super confident, and he had seen me play all day. I wasn't doing too well. I didn't think I was doing too well, so I don't know. I was not very confident going into that match. I thought he would have the upper hand, and then we got in the match, and it just hit. I guess he looked better than he did before that finals match. I don't know.
Well, so the finals match was really interesting, and I can go into more detail, Ren, when Justin leaves. But like, it was a slower match than what had been played normally throughout the day. So like, the first couple points were like 2 or 3 minutes, which is pretty rare in the one-on-one. And I feel like then something happened, Justin, where because it was kind of back and forth, or and then you got like a little bit of a lead. Like, that was the big clutch moment. Like, you had a few in the middle of it where you got like 3 points on him. Like, what was that? Like, did something change? Did you find a tendency on him? Did you go into another gear? Like, what was that in the middle that changed it, where it made it faster and you were able to collect a few more points?
I think I just found a rhythm. I think that's what it is. Like, I just needed to find the rhythm, and it just took, I guess, that long, but it really does help the points, like the lead. But you just have to find
helps. Yeah, the lead helps a lot because in the game, right? It was like slow, and then Justin got a few points, and then the time started to click down. And actually, this was the only match of the weekend that it went to time.
Oh, really?
So that's pretty rare, yeah. And so Clayton had not much time. He had like a minute or something, and he needed 2 points, and he started to kind of engage too late. So he started to go at like 30 seconds where he should have gone at like 45 seconds or a minute even,
Because he needed 2 points.
He needed 2 points, and he ended up winning that point. And it was like, and honestly, it was a really crazy point because like what's cool about the duel is like there's so many eyes on you. Like, there's not much cheating, right? There's actually not any cheating. It kind of really solves that problem. But like, something happened. Like, I blinked, and Clayton came through and bunkered Justin, and didn't have a hit on him, or like something happened. I can't even remember. It was one of the last points, and like we all kind of looked around, and like, what just happened? And Clayton's like, he's hit up, and he hits the buzzer, and there was like literally 1 second left. And he needed one more point to score to tie it, right? And I was kind of like, well, honestly, that was just so insanely fast. I don't even know what happened. And all the refs were looking at me. I was looking at Rich. I was like, okay, I'll give you the point, like, and I think Justin even was like, I don't even know what happened. Remember that point, Justin?
I think, yeah, it was kind of wild.
It was really wild, right? I mean, what do you think broke down in your mind in that point?
I thought I had shot him first, like before he even rounded the bunker. Cause I don't know. That's what was going through my mind. I was kind of mad.
Oh, were you? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it just happened so quick, and you know, he was coming to bunker you, and like he did have the drop on you. Whether you shot him, you know, a split second before or not, like nobody could tell. Anyways, we gave it to Clayton, but he only had 1 second to get another point. You know, so that was, it kind of came down to a nail biter in a sense because of that.
Yeah.
There's a comment in here about white paint was a little hard to see.
Is that from Alex?
It's from Hormesis Paintball. So I'm not sure who's on the Hormesis, but they have said, I have an idea. We should use white paint.
Everything white, he said. White jerseys.
I think it's
white nets, white bunkers.
Mandatory white jerseys, NXL switching to white, everything white. It could be, I thought it was you at first.
But we didn't
But
see
I
it.
don't see your fingers moving.
So with that, yeah, that was probably a blunder on my part, but not really a blunder because at the end of the day, there was no cheating. There was no, the white paint wasn't a total deficit. Now, did it look good on film? That could be the issue. And again, you know, like the thing is kind of pissed me off a little bit. Everybody's crying about it, but it's like, and what I mean by everybody is the people in the production team. And I said, well, okay, tell me right now, if it's bad, I'll change it. And, you know, this is the one thing that bothers me about people in life is everybody will complain about something, but nobody will have an absolute, you know, way of changing it. Right. So people just love to complain. And so I don't like complaining. If it's something that needs to be fixed and addressed, we fix and address it. We move on, you know, it's just like that in the games. Right. So, you know, one of my cameramen was like, oh my God, it's so bad. And I'm like, well, go look at it. Tell me how bad it is. If it's really bad, we can change it. And ultimately, it wasn't that bad. The idea, and I still have this idea because I want to produce, you know, this is...
You want it to be clean.
The question. I want it to be clean. I want it to look good. Mm-hmm. And the white does fulfill that. It doesn't mark great. Shout out to Defy. I think the yellow ball shell is a code. Like... I think we cracked something that's been a big issue for paintball for a long time. The yellow ball looks awesome on the camera. You know, that's why tennis balls used to be white, and then they made them yellow because they can see it better. So now in the future, we're going to make it probably yellow paint also, you know, matching the ball, or orange, right? Those are the two best markings, right? But in terms of the you know, cheating, that was not a factor. Mm-hmm. In terms of the quality of the camera shots being, you know, received with a hit, that could be a factor. But I watched some of it with Miko when I was in Montana now, and it looked good. So, you know, that's kind of my answer with that. And again, probably a bad idea on my part to try that in the grand finale. But I don't know. Ask Justin. Did you ever not see a hit? Did you ever, you know, get away with a hit, you know, that people didn't see?
Yeah, I got bunkered I got bunkered at the end of the game, and no one knew.
True, that could be it. Yeah, also, yeah.
Nah, not at all. I think.
Look, with yeah.
I saw the hits every time. I think it was fine.
And the beauty of it is 1-on-1. So you have what, 6 refs out there?
That's right. You have 4 refs. You have Rich as the ultimate, and you have my eyes. So you have 12,
we know your eyes after our
there.
match. We know your eyes. You as the ultimate. Your eyes need to be checked.
Oh!
Out! He stepped on the field. Get him out! Huh? Yosh, you're good. You can come on the field though.
One a quick side story. When we were young, Ryan had really bad vision, and but he was really good. And then he went to Costa Rica and came back, and he was like not as good anymore. And we were just all better than him. And he had bad eyesight, and we're like, oh, dude, this guy's career is ruined. You know, like we're just superior to him, and his eyesight sucks. And then he went and got LASIK, and it worked, right?
Yeah. I can't really see very well at all anymore.
Oh, really? So you got to get a double LASIK?
I don't know. I got to figure that out. But
you know,
I definitely have to use autopilot every time I drive at night.
I wonder what. Yeah, yours. You know, it's interesting. I think I forget what Archie's is. I know like
J-Rab's got like 20/10.
Yeah, like eyesight that's like a 2% eyesight.
Yeah, fighter pilot shit.
I don't know, correlation there maybe with some pretty consistent elite players.
Anything more for Justin?
Oh, dude, you're on the U19?
Yes, sir, I am.
Oh, sick.
Nice.
There we go. Thanks, Matt. Matt Hodges is in here too. He's giving the download in here. So, well, dude, really excellent work, man. Congratulations. Hormesis is pushing boundaries here and kind of upping the ante, really throwing their hat in the ring, saying, what else is the industry going to do to support this sort of thing, and really truly grow paintball in a competitive fashion and do it in a sense where there is something, there is a real carrot at the end of the stick that you can be like, I can play paintball. You're going to upgrade your car. You just got out of high school, won $15,000. There were a handful of guys that did that back when we came out of college or high school also. And it was a pretty cool career for us as well. And I think you're in a really good space, it seems like, because, you're playing for Team USA, you're winning these events, you're playing pro already, and you're doing it at a high level right now and just polishing your skill set. That's a really cool opportunity. And so thank you, Oliver, for doing that too.
He's living the paintball dream, That's the thing is like, again, we as veterans, as people who have done this, we need to start paving the path for people like Justin, And that's also, Justin, I just want to thank you, bro, for like coming out, playing this thing, losing, coming back the next year, winning it, and then winning the grand finale. Like, this actually, bro, when you won, I had tears in my eyes because your journey is just beginning, and it's an honor to help pave the way for your success in the sport, And that's what I feel like us veterans owe the future generations to this game, And you're doing it with the veterans, with the under 19, and I really love all that. It's like, but we need to do more for these future generations because I don't think we got what we did a lot, but I don't think I don't think paintball got to the place that I was desiring it to be when I was playing. And I want to do that now for the future generations.
Well said.
Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate all that. Appreciate you setting up this whole Hormesis deal. It's really amazing.
Yeah, actually share with everybody kind of a little bit of how it works, so I don't have to tell everybody how cool it was. But like, what did you guys get? Like, how did the format? Like, how was it set up? The food, everything.
It was a lot. Like, what do you mean? Just like how the whole experience was?
Yeah.
Yeah, like paint the picture of like you showed up. You got a jersey, you did the interview, all that stuff.
Oh, it was a lot. Everything was so like set up and beautiful. It really was like a whole stage, just set up to go shine. It was really, really cool. It did a whole lot for us, man. It was really great. Yeah.
Didn't you guys eat? Did you have like a lot of decorations from the event, and then you guys ate Thai food and everything? Kind of like kept it.
Oh yeah.
Had you ever had Thai food before?
Oh, I actually haven't. It was quite the experience.
He was the most bummed of not going to Thailand, I will say, because he was ready.
Yeah, we bought tickets and it was just didn't happen. But I don't know. It gave me a lot of time to prepare for the event though, so I kind of like how it went.
Yeah. Shout out Mama Prime for making a Thailand
what kind of headband? What kind of headgear do you wear?
I wear Hormesis headband and sometimes a beanie.
Just checking. Wasn't sure what happens with that hair that you have there. All right, man. Well, hey, I'll let you go, dude. Thanks a lot for jumping on. I know it was tricky to get you nailed down here. To get on, and we'll see you out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, man. Congratulations, and I'll see you in Ohio.
Thank you.
All right. See ya. So, Oliver.
So I'll share.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah, please.
So,
it's one thing. It's interesting. Real quick.
First of all, huge.
Okay. Uh-oh. You still there? I lost you for a second. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, so shout out to Mike and the family at Prime. Like, honestly, just they're really doing it in a beautiful way. And like when you go to Prime, you can see the love of the mother's touch. Like that family is just incredibly beautiful. What they do is next level care. I mean, the place is immaculate, bro. The field, the grass, like there's some type of Bermuda I-1950 59 grass that's like perfect for paintball that they like figured out, you know.
Peptides in that grass.
When that peptides.
Yeah. The whole setup is gorgeous, you know. It's on a private location. They pretty much just only open for private you know, practices. So it's not really a money-making thing, you know. So this is inspiring for anybody who has land or something, you know, like talk to them and or go check it out. But it's like gorgeous. And there's a huge barn where people can sleep. Mike opened his house for us. You know, it's just a great vibe all around there. It's in nature, huge trees surrounding you. You know, we had a huge dinner one day, you know, with all the guys. All the guys showed up at different times. You know, we got them in Defy. Shout out to Defy. I mean, Defy really came through. Todd Martinez really came through. Chad Yaya was there. Like, just cool support, you know, and that's really what I love about, again, this whole concept of collaboration. Defy made us a custom ball. They made custom jerseys for each of these guys, and they looked different. You know, like that was my whole vision, and still is like, I want you to be looking like a dueler. And as we advance into this further, like how I see it is like paintball's dead. You're not a paintball player anymore. You're a dueler, you know, and you dress like a dueler. There's new uniform for the dueler. It's lighter. It's, you know, you can wear a long sleeve shirt, a short sleeve shirt. We made shirts with collars. You know, you don't need a 6-pack or anything more. You wear 2-pack Shakur. You know, you can wear shorts, you know, very light pads. Obviously, Tommy Greenleaf didn't even wear pads. You know, you've got a pit crew aspect. So, you know, Defy really helped us with designs of these jerseys. They got jerseys. We got, you know, Miko and the rest of the production team. They set up this beautiful, you know, stage with lighting. And, you know, we really went pro. Alex came out. You know, Alex is a master of getting in there and asking the right questions. So they spent the full day on Thursday. You know, we had a little catering and we just did interviews. We wanted to know their stories. We wanted to know who to kind of follow and get to know these guys, you know, not just, hey, this kid won and it's over. And Miko and Alex did an awesome job on you know, going into depth on these character buildings. And then we followed a few of them more deeply on Saturday. And then obviously the winner. Justin, I believe, is one of the guys that they followed because he's got a good story with his family dynamic and obviously his youth, and then obviously he won. So these guys were treated like pros, man, you know, and that's something that I would love to do for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, I want to treat you guys like professionals. I don't want you to have to come and pay a large entry fee and play in some lousy place that, you know, you bang yourself up in and then you win and you don't win anything. I mean, honestly, paintball's lame, if you ask me. It's just lame. It's lame. And this is different, and we're doing something different. And I really want to idolize you guys. I want to make you guys the stars of this thing. And that's the whole concept with Elite 101. And you'll see Miko's working on this. George Fava came out. He's an amazing videographer. We filmed some great content, and we're going to produce a show with it, you know, and we're not going to try to put it on ESPN. We're not going to, I mean, I don't even have ESPN. I couldn't even watch the Aftershock rushing game.
I still haven't seen it either. I don't have ESPN either.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't even find it. So there's so many networks that are available out there for streaming purposes, and we're going to build a show that's going to be epic, and people are going to look at it and say, this is a sport. And it's not paintball anymore. You're dueling. You're a professional dueler, and you can win X amount of money if you come in and you duel. And so this whole event was really highlighting what it looks like to have a duel on a professional level. The sponsorship, you know, Defy came through. We had Defy tents, we had Defy banners, you know, Defy paint, Defy jerseys. Like, that's a big pull for a sponsor, you know, to get that, you know. So if somebody else wants to do that one day, that's available. And then, you know, highlighting super good paintball, focused paintball. it's not a mixed match where these two good teams are playing and then there's these two lousy teams in between and no one really cares and you can't really figure out what's going on anyways. It's clear and concise, man. Like, and every duel was good. I think there was maybe like one duel that was like not so good, and a not so good duel just kind of means a blowout, you know? But it was a lot of back and forth. And again, what a cool story. I went literally around the world. I don't think people even recognize this. I went all around the world 2024. I went to Thailand. I found the best guy, Oat, you know? He won. He's invited to the grand finale. I went to London, found the best guy, Chris Stone. He won. He's invited to the grand finale. I went to Germany. I went to Canada. I went to 3 spaces in the U.S. and then Mexico, you know? And your boy Ariata, you know, honestly, dude, that kid's cool.
I was going to ask about him, too.
Yeah, he ended up taking 4th place. He looked good. He had a lot of down games and came back and fought, man. Like, he's just a good character, good kid. All these guys were good characters, good kids. You know, like, Chris Stone, you know, he's been around for a long time, Ryan. You know, this was one of the events that changed his life, you know, and he's been in the game for so long. And I think that's the potency of a good duel and a good location and a good event is this will change your life. It's not just, oh, I want to go have an experience at the PSP or the NXL. It's like, I want to actually have a life-changing experience. And that's what the duel can produce. And so kind of to answer that question earlier, 2025, there's probably not going to be much considering just the finances and things, and we're working on the show, and that's going to be 2025. I did just have a good conversation with Billy Saransky. He wants to do an event over there with your boy, Mark Kyle, and you'll probably come out for that, I'm sure. And we're going to host a massive joust. We're going to do potentially a tag team. We're going to be doing potentially a team version joust, and then we'll probably do a duel. But that's going to be kind of just on the side. Right now, Charlo works for us now in Brazil, and he's doing a search for the best in South America. So I'll go to the grand finale in that, which will be in Rio, probably end of the year. He's still got a few more locations underway, but he's already got 3 down. And so he's got 3 top duelers in different locations in Brazil. And ideally, really how I see this thing and how I dream this thing to be, also in Canada, Blake, shout out to Blake. He's doing a whole one-on-one league, and he's collecting the best players and giving them good prizes and setting them up and giving a platform for people who, A, don't have teams, or B, who have teams and want to take it more seriously than other guys on the teams, or anybody just wants to actually become accredited in the sport. If you win a one-on-one, you have some type of street cred in the game, Tommy Greenleaf, changed his life by winning it. He's a household name now. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, that's all that's planned for 2025. And I think 2026, we need to hold like a Wimbledon. We're going to hold like an event that's going to be an amazing location, not a paintball, field in some place that nobody wants to go to, but in a good location that people want to come to. And we will have kids 16, maybe a kids 14. We'll have an open division, we'll have a ladies division, we'll have a masters division. I can compete in that. And then we'll have a pro division, if the pros step up and play. And if the pros don't want to play, then I don't care anymore. I'll just make new pros. I don't need Rainey Stanzak or anybody who's just gonna, bitch and moan. I'm gonna make new pros, and those guys are gonna be winning good money, and they're gonna be getting good individual sponsorships, maybe even getting paid by individuals to go out there and to do it. And those guys will be the professional duelers. I'm not going to try to get, some guys that are
that don't want to be there.
That don't want to be there and that are, just literally afraid to be there. If you want to be there, you're going to have to show up and you're going to have to play. And, if you want that prestige, and that's the difference, man. Like when I played, I remember waking up one day in Europe, and it was the first one-on-one that they were doing. Mm-hmm. And I was on the Bullets, and I was like, wait, why didn't I sign up for this? What am I doing? I need to win this, and I ran there that morning, got there early, signed up for it, played it, won it, right? And it's just like, that's the difference, I think, of being a true competitor than just being a carte blanche pro that makes a little bit of cash that kind of sucks, to be honest. You don't win shit. Dynasty wins everything, and now Fit wins everything, and it's like, That's just not good enough for me. You should be wanting to win. If there's a duel and there's money on the line or even prestige on the line and you call yourself a professional, you have to show up. Otherwise, you're not a professional in my book, and I'll write you off, you know? And it's just, that's the reality, you know? And I need to be a little bit more honest and cutthroat with that, because I'm actually doing something for you and for the industry. And if you can't support that or see that because you're afraid, well, then you should probably go and play golf or something, you know?
But if you don't get caught competing in golf either. No, you're right, man. And look, I fell into this also, and I personally believe that it's a little bit of an ego. It's an ego thing, actually, just not even a little bit. I think it's people just don't want to be bested by anybody or called out and then lose. Which is also why a lot of people don't mind
that's competition,
right? I know, but the thing is, like you mentioned it, you said it great earlier. It's like you can talk shit in paintball hiding behind the other four guys. You can like lean on the rest of your team and kind of get things done as a team. Whereas if it came down to that individual thing, there's not a lot of guys that are stepping up to the plate like you would. And it's partially a competitiveness. It's partially just confidence. Plays a lot into it, you know. So there's a lot of factors that go into that.
Kyle was the first one when I tested this thing. Kyle showed up, and you know, Marcelo didn't want to play it. Other people didn't want to play it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
I got
ego.
him and
I got
him and Clay, and Clay was on the Ironman. And honestly, I have a lot of respect for Clay now for that, you know, because he showed up and played it. And Kyle played it, and it was hard. And Kyle was actually, what's really cool also about this is like the pros haven't done this yet, and the pros are going to bring a new element to this that we haven't seen, that I haven't seen yet. And like when Kyle did it, man, Kyle had some tricks up his sleeve that he pulled out, like really funny, really some deep psychological, you know, darts. And honestly, it helped him and it made him win. And like that whole chapter of the book on this hasn't been written yet, and won't be written until true pros start to play this. But like I remember Kyle did some really tricky things, you know. Remember you went up and you were like,
just like, I was tired, but I didn't use the timeout, and then as soon as Clay used it, I was like, okay, I could see he's gas, so I'm like, I'm not using mine, and then just went way faster to close it out, because it was kind of
like a couple things.
Go ahead.
You did a couple things where you like tied your shoe to take rest, and then you aced him and you ran really quick and you hit the buzzer right in his face, you know. It was like all these little things that are, again, this chapter of the book, of the sportsmanship of this, or the competitiveness of this hasn't been written. And I'm excited to see what that looks like, because pros will always change the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, like even at practice, we were talking about it too, is like, not to, actually I won't even say the player's name, but we were at, practicing on Sunday at ASG, and then there was a pro playing, and he got shot down the tape by like someone that was not very like D4D5, and Mouse and I were just like, man, it's crazy that paintball is like that. Like that player should not get shot that easily by this player, but you know, it there's a big equalizer with how fast the paintball travels. So and then when you have people that are like equal skill level, that's when too the mental chess game comes into it, and the strategy, and
that's
little tricks to give you an edge.
And so, look, you know, the kid who played on Fit against the Tauntaun Frenchie, that kid fucking rocks. I don't know his name. I can't think of it right now.
Axel?
Maybe you guys can.
Well, that was
not Axel. Axel sucks. The other guy.
Scott Stewart, I think. No.
That kid is a beast, dude. That kid looked like he does one-on-ones every weekend. He's done it 1,000 times.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see.
The way he played.
Yeah,
the way he
Scott
played,
Stewart, yeah.
It was literally finesse. Freaking Axel had no chance. Axel could have been a hero multiple times that game and just face flopped like poorly, you know, and being a vet. And like literally that kid stepped up, didn't care. And what I love about Fit is like they probably have 5 guys they'd put in on a one-on-one. You don't even know who you'd put in on a one-on-one on your team. You know, you'd have to be like, oh, well, let's see who's playing good. Like, fuck that, dude. You should be, this is the guy we're playing. And that's why also the duel needs to be adapted and adopted more by all pro teams, because it's coming down to one-on-ones, guys. It's happened numerous times now. Either you're a hero or you're a complete flop. And the flops, you know, they die. They go into oblivion. Like, we don't even know who the guys are that the winners have played. Their careers are shattered. Those guys need to be practicing one-on-ones. Those guys need to be dueling. You know, Dynasty should have a full lineup. Coach Bianca should know, okay, Ryan Greenspan's going in on one-on-one for sure, you know? And because we've done 10 of these events and Ryan's won 9 out of them, you know, and Harrison's won 1, or Barrett's won 2 of them, right? You should have those statistics going into a freaking tournament, you know? It shouldn't have to be the seam of your pants, like, okay, put him in, you know? It's like, no, dude, it should be literally statted. Like, there should be stats on this, you know?
Yeah, you're right. And
so I think every pro team should adopt doing this, you know? And like when we did it in Utah, I remember Yosh, I saw the fire in Yosh's eyes, where Yosh's like, whoa, dude, if we just did this one weekend before we actually practiced the team, like, we'd be so sharp. We'd be so incredibly dialed that you go into the team practice and you don't even have to, you know, knock off any rust, you know? Mm-hmm. And the whole concept, man, and again, I say it over and over again, and I'm surprised that every field doesn't have one yet. It's so easy to set up, man. It takes you
How many bunkers do you need? You need a special kit?
I saw he has all the information on that.
The whole, again, this is something that I'm solving so many things with this.
Here. Yeah.
The whole bunker kit situation, each year that Sup Air brings out a new bunker kit, and you have to buy a new one, and you have to upkeep it, and it's 50-something, 60-something bunkers, and they're horrendous bunkers, and they're big, and you can't even see the other side of the field. We just killed that. It's just Doritos, little Doritos and Temples. That's all we use, okay? The location of the bunkers are always in the same location, but the bunker itself can change, which can create literally probably 1,000 variations, okay? I could do the math on that, and I could probably build a massive amount of variety. In each field, every time we do something, it's different. So this one in the grand finale, a field no one's ever played on before, you know? So, Roy Steinhardt's calling me, right?
Oh yeah, Roy.
Anyways, so with that being said, you know, you should just set this up, or if you have a backyard, you set it up and you just play it, dude. It's not going to take over. It's not going to kill 5-man. It's going to only make you a better 5-man player, just like Justin said, you know. And what I like about it too, Ryan, which I think you can appreciate this, is it doesn't take all day anymore, dude. You don't have to waste your precious Saturday and precious Sunday. You've got kids, you've got a wife, you know, you've got things to do. Just go out for 1 hour and grind and sharpen and play back to back to back to back to back to back to back. You're going to get so many more reps in this. You're going to play more in this in 1 hour than you do in the whole day of playing. Also, you're not going to use 10 cases of paint or 5 cases of paint. You know, you use a half a case of paint. And maybe that's why the whole conspiracy is Oliver's a bad guy, because I'm gonna change the paint world. You know, people are probably afraid of, we're not going to sell as much paint, but that's not how I see it. What I see is it's a game of quantity, not quality. Oh, sorry, quality, not quantity. So instead of getting 1,000 people to play every weekend, just get 100 people, or one weekend a month. Get 100 people to play every weekend, or 200 people to play every weekend multiple times, right? So you're still selling the same amount of paint. You're just not selling 1,000 to 1,000 people. You know, it's only more focused. I'd rather have repeat customers that care about us. Like, I think Mike Barry said this in one of his meetings, but it's like paintball is one of the only sports where a lot of fields don't respect the repeat customers, and that's the tournament players. You know,
yeah,
right. And it's like in every other business, repeat customers, you want to keep them, you want to save them. So for any field, this is an opportunity for you to have repeat customers that you're treating well, and you're still selling paint to, and still selling quality time of play. And you play for 1 hour, 2 hours, and you're out of there, bro. You're no longer dwindling your days away at, you know, some remote location waiting for the next match to play, you know?
Yeah. And it's good exercise also. It's like you could use this as you would if you were to go play pickleball, or you're going to go play, a round of golf or something long. That's actually even longer, but you go out to the field, you guys gear up, and you like Oliver said, is you don't need all the gear. You don't need like heavy anything. It's just I've got Kyle scheduled at 12, and Kyle and I are going to play for the hour that we play, and then we're out. Yeah. Right? We're done. It takes 3 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, another cool thing that I will say that we haven't tested that we could implement is a tag team version. So let's just say it's, you and Kyle versus Alex and I. Clearly we're going to beat you guys, but it's like Alex plays against Kyle, Kyle wins, Kyle stays on, I come out, I play Kyle, I beat Kyle, Kyle leaves, you come in, and it's like a very tight-knit teamwork aspect. You don't have pit crew, you don't have a coach. The tag team has to pit crew and coach for each other, right? So it's super full on, okay? There's a team version of it. You could have Dynasty. It could be Ryan, Barrett, Yosh, Alex, and Arturo playing Diesel, right? So you could have 5 guys, and you just kind of do a mini joust 5-on-5, right? There's so many possibilities of this. Also, I think would be really cool moving into and again, tracking skateboarding, to become a professional in skateboarding, you have to win what's called an amateur open. Okay. Once you win like the Tampa Bay Open, you actually are qualified to be pro. So like, it's just so bullshit now. Okay. Pretty much whoever can buy a spot is pro, like it's just lame. It's just really lame. And everybody says the quality of paintball of the game is really good. I'm not going to disagree with that, but it's definitely not as good as it could be because you have a lot of watered down players in there. And I'm just being honest. You should have to win something to become professional. So what I think would be a cool thing to do is you do a pro-am. So like it could be Ryan and Justin Hodges versus Kyle and Tommy Greenleaf, right? Now Tommy Greenleaf and Justin Hodges get this experience of playing with a pro and getting those rubbing the elbows of this is a pro mentality. Oh, we're down 5 points and Ryan's not giving up. Okay, I need to learn that and subscribe to that belief so that I can become better. So we could be making amateurs pros very quickly, and by doing, this combination of things. Also, you could do all sorts of fun ones. You could do father son, you could do mother's daughter, you could do cousins, roommates, whatever it is, right? You could have, there's a whole plethora of bonding experience. So we have to also realize that the one-on-one, yes, it shines as individually, but there's also team aspects of it that we can foster.
You and your mom versus you and your mom. There you go.
That would be like a
Ronnie and Ryan.
That would be a match,
dude.
That'd be a match.
I can work you. That bonus ball Mickey so many times that you'd be playing with one guy,
dude,
one player.
If he bunkered Mickey, I might have a heart attack.
I would. No prisoners.
Mouse has bunkered his mom.
Yeah, Mouse bunkered his mom.
But also, think about like your kids, you've got twins, like frick, this is an amazing way for them to get into the sport and play, People always talk about celebrities playing. You're never going to have a celebrity team, but you could have celebrity one-on-ones. You could have celebrity jousts,
And Miles isn't walking yet, so we got to get him like maybe 6 months at least, 6 more months.
Yeah, then we throw him right in.
Then you can.
You could have. We could do the Bloods versus the Crips, man. We could do all sorts of different things. Like there's such a variety of possibilities.
We're gonna hash it out here.
Yeah, we could have the Democrats versus the Republicans.
I like that.
That'd be a good one. That'll settle it.
I think I know what you wrote.
Stuff in the news.
This is how can be settled everything,
Yeah.
This is how we're gonna elect our next president.
Honestly,
is it gonna be Trump or Kamala?
The concept. That's the concept of the duel. Like so I was just in Montana, and actually dueling was just outlawed 10 years ago or something stupid like that, or 20 years ago.
Real dueling.
If we had a conflict, we don't just cancel you. We go and we duel. It's it's okay. We leave it all on the field. Also, what's cool about this is it's not a duel where you just die and it's over. It's actually a pretty competitive thing. You got 20 minutes. It's a race to 10. The better guy is going to win, a duel is just one shot and you're dead, like the old ones, right?
Yeah,
Now it's like-
because they can't race to,
They
there's
can't
no
race,
race two,
you know?
unless they both get winged.
Round
I
two,
think, round two. That's what I do. I do
Well,
that
probably
with Coin Duel.
happened a lot.
Yeah, I do that with Coin Duel.
That probably happened.
The quick draw.
Yeah.
The quick draw is fun.
Some more coins because he doesn't want to tell Alex to make some more coins because he's not making more coins. I said make more coins. People like the Coin Duel.
I think it was great. I mean, Alex just needs to make more time for everybody. You know?
Yeah, he's stretched thin a little bit.
Nah. Do you ever follow The Rock on social media? That guy's got 28 hours in the day. Alex needs to pick it up. He's not doing enough. Slacking. Not doing
look
enough.
at Elon. He makes Teslas.
Yes, he needs to sleep on the floor.
He's in the White House. He's doing everything.
Yeah. Unless Alex is sleeping, minting coins, sleeping on the floor, and stitching
He
the
said he has
headbands.
tons of time.
He's got tons of time. I know.
He's in here.
Get me in there.
I mean, time is pretty much you could just make it. You know,
Yeah.
It really comes down to you. You know.
Yeah. You can craft it. That's the next one. Hormesis will be selling time.
I think there was a movie about that.
Yeah, Hormesis selling time. Wonder how you can market that.
What's that movie?
No, you make a watch and you just
Yeah.
like it was like a Justin Timberlake movie or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what
but
I
it's
was
just like the thing just keeps spinning, and there's like only one hand on yours, and it
okay,
just
well, so
spins
this
around
is-
at just an arbitrary rate.
Oh, it's called In Time.
But-
36%
in time, but this is
of
actually a
Rotten
thing. You know, I think once you get a little older, which I've actually recently started to experience. Like my mom has always been very, she's been very light on me to spend time with her, but now she's 80 and she's like, I don't know how much time, she doesn't know how much time she has left. So it's kind of interesting when you start to actually lose clock time, just like in a paintball match, you actually start to value your time more and you make more time and you know how to navigate your time better instead of wasting it on, frivolous things, right? And you become more efficient. And that's also a part of age and the beauty of getting older, you know? Like I ain't got time to hurt people. I ain't got time to freaking argue with people. I don't have time, to try to convince you of something. Like I'm doing it, it's just happening. I don't have this wasted time,
Yeah.
But I'm 40, when you're 20, maybe you got a lot of time and you can hate people, I ain't got time to hate you.
What's the time frame on that? Like you're allowed to hate. You're allowed to burden hate in your 20s, harbor hate in your 20s and your 30s, and then once you get to the 40s, you gotta you're in this renaissance period, and then once you're maybe you're
That's
like,
right.
all right, I'm 80 and I don't have a lot of time left, but I definitely didn't hate Ryan enough. That son of a bitch.
Well, I remember there was a lot of guys in paintball. Maybe you can remember this too. I'm not gonna say their names, but they were hated, and because they didn't like other people and they weren't conducive to the community, right? And they were guys that were just jerks, right? And I remember, and they were usually older than us. I remember at certain points those guys literally reformatting their relationships and coming up to me and be like, hey Oliver, how you doing, man? And I'm like, you've been like a jerk for like 15 years, now you want to be my friend. And it's because exactly that they recognize, oh man, I've been doing this wrong for a long time and now I need to resolve this by actually recognizing these people are my friends and we're in this community together and I need them and they need me, and I saw a lot of people that were jerks in paintball, and yeah, that's probably through your 20s and maybe into your early 30s. But if you're doing that past 35, yeah, you're wasting your time, Definitely if you're in your 40s, you're wasting your time.
That's for sure. That's an understatement.
We ain't got time to hate.
Dude. That's why nothing ever bothers me.
I know you're pretty cool. You've become. I think your kids really changed your whole.
I've always been like this. You've just been mad.
I think you. No, you haven't, Ryan. You changed significantly. No. Also, I think you finally won so many tournaments that you're just like you're cool. Before you were a little bitch.
No, you guys, I was just misunderstood. You have all just now finally given in and been like,
you're
fine.
Right. You're right.
You know what? Actually, I need to
misunderstood
stop hating
every
Ryan
single-
so much because he's
the
really
50,
cool. He's just
60
misunderstood.
People on Dynasty, we all misunderstood you.
Everybody
The
did.
50,
Yeah,
60
that's why
guys on
everybody's. That's why
Dynasty,
everybody, every single one of you guys, Davey hated me, Whit hated me, you hated me. Everybody hated me, and then they're like, hey, you know what? It was just misunderstood. Ryan's the coolest guy I've ever met.
Misunderstood.
Yeah,
Ryan is the
I'm
coolest
just
guy.
the coolest guy you've ever met. It was just
The
hard for you to
coolest.
contemplate that.
I have figured it out and realized it, and that's why I am getting a Ryan Greenspan tattoo.
There you go. Join the team.
That'll be what, 8?
How many people have your name tattooed on them?
There's about 8 of them. 8. I actually got a big box, a big bag of goodies for right here. This one's going out to the guy from Canada. He just got one. Oh, this one's cool
Wow.
actually. Signature ears. Oh, did you like the Ryan Greenspan ears that I put on your goggles?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I gave Oliver a pair of these ears. I had his goggles for a while. And
I
he's like,
gave
hey.
those to Mike Bianca. He was stoked though. Mike Bianca was stoked. Yeah.
Alex,
But I don't
always
wear
knew
ear
you were
protection. I just go
misunderstood,
straight.
and
I
you
go straight
understood you were
1980s. I go straight 1980s.
You go straight 1980s. I
Just
felt like you
only
needed some good ear protection, so I gave you some of my deviated ear protection.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you for that gift. Sorry I didn't utilize them.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I didn't see any pictures anyway. But, yeah.
You got any more questions for Elite 101, or you guys have any questions Elite 101, or you want to?
No, just kind of talking about like what you kind of had on tap for moving forward. Really is what it is. I think that's what a lot of people are looking forward to. I think obviously the buzz around it, the fact that it's just, oh boy,
What happened?
I don't know my computer my stream just refreshed for some reason.
Mine did that too a second ago.
It did, like you on YouTube, just refreshed.
Which
It's
is
weird. Yeah.
close it down.
Anyway, so yeah, we were just talking. Thanks, Chris. It's just a phenomenon to a certain extent. Like every year, it's gotten better and bigger, and you're doing such a good job promoting it. And just really, people are like, where can we go next? A lot of people want it to be in New York, Seattle. There's a lot of people that want more of that. They want to be able. I think people just want to see it and be able to get there. So I think maybe, actually, sorry, I'm answering your question for you because that's the kind of friend I am. I think what you need to do is more of those outreach things and doing just more of these events that don't necessarily all tie into a final event, but it's building awareness at fields, right? Do another tour to like a promotional tour that's just like, hey, get these fields to like, where can we set this up? You can put it up right there. This is where you need to have it, and then do a cool, fun Hormesis event right there, and then go on to the next spot. And yeah. I just think, because a lot of people want to try it, and I think that what you're talking about makes sense. Every field should have one. Every field can have one, and the fields that do have them, they're having a lot of success by just running these little events here and there. But I think education comes down to the biggest part of that, right? The productions that you're doing these big productions, but I think you need to just do one thing smaller and be like, this is how you set up a duel. Here we are at insert field name. We're going to create a little video. It doesn't have to be over the top of production, and just be like, set this up anywhere. And then go around and do it at a handful of places.
No, I think you're right. And I think like when I did it in the US and we drove the tour bus, we went to what I would consider, the most popular fields, or at least that's what I was told. And it was good to check in. There's a lot of fields. And so if any field wants to do this, you can message the Hormesis Paintball. I can get back to you. Also, I can teach you how to do it. I have a whole PDF on how to do this, how to run things. And I think you're right, Ryan. Like, I think there's a grassroots aspect of it, and it kind of comes down to just people's interest to want to do it, and my availability. And if I can't do it, I know Rich would be able to do it. I know I have people online. I've got Kevin, Miko. Miko's going to do one in Finland. So it is happening, and it is happening organically, and we do need a little bit more, interest from specific field owners, and that's one thing that I think would also benefit this community is field owners getting more dynamic and more active and saying, hey, Oliver, can we do it now? And look, you make all the money. I'll come set it up. We'll have a good event, and we teach everybody how to do it, and you can run more of these things, and you can make them financially viable. And I think in the future, so we also have the Hormesis Elite app, which is really cool. Still the beginning of it, but if you go on there, pretty much you can track to see who the best duelers are around the world. And my idea with that is, so in the future, I could go to like a geomap and I could look into California. I could scroll into ASG, and if ASG is doing this, they're running a few events, you know, like a duel once a month. That's not so hard, or a duel every other month. And I could zoom in and I could say, okay, you know, Jimmy Jeffries is the best dueler at ASG. You know, look, hands down, he's won all these duels. He's won that. He's, you know, this is his stats, and we have that on the app. You know, so I think that's really actually cool. We're moving into statistics, not just ambiguity of, okay, this guy's a good
Without a
player.
doubt.
You know, right?
Without a doubt.
And when you retire, bro, you could be the commissioner. You know,
Dude, I can't wait.
But you're never. When are you gonna retire? Never.
I don't know, but we'll probably announce it here on the show.
Some Tuesday.
Well, we'll just say, just guys, stick around. Tuesdays at 4 p.m. I'm gonna announce my retirement.
Yeah, it'll be one.
Yeah.
It'll be one. Tuesday.
It'll be on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
most
so
likely.
make sure you gotta watch every single show.
So also, Rin, so this year I'm gonna do something. We've been talking about this. This could be kind of cool. Just on a side note, so we're not gonna do. I don't think we're gonna do a party at the World Cup, but I'm gonna build this art installation of like a timeline of the sport. And I'd like to also do an Icons Hall of Fame, true Hall of Fame. So like I want to build like a little, 12 by 12. I want to get plaques of everybody's faces made, or carvings, or busts, or something. Well,
we have artwork. We have really killer artwork of all the guys.
Yeah, so that could be cool. Yeah. We could put that up, and then so we have like a actual location of the Hall of Fame that people could come to and see. So we're gonna do that.
At
the
World
booth
Cup.
at World Cup. We're still talking about it. I got a call here with Miko and Alex soon, and I talked to Miko about it. I haven't chatted with Alex about it yet, but we're thinking about doing something like that, where it's just more of like an interactive, experiential booth, not a party or anything, and also it has history, and then it has the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, actually, that's crazy. I that was my original plan, and Tom was gonna give me a space because I wanted to do the Hall of Fame and then a walk through paintball history, so you enter in one area and come out through the other, because there's guys like Victor Gamboa has a huge collection of there's like a Kyle Spicka head to toe goggles, headband, cleats of the last time he played on the Ironman or on Dynasty, and he's got Scott Kemp's full setup. He's got like all these players, their guns, goggles, and all this stuff from different parts in history, and he's got a bunch of stuff. I know John Trestor's got a bunch of stuff, but I wanted to do something from like ancient guns. You have like the very first pump, and then the autococker, the auto mag, and then the angels, and kind of put that out there to have like a cool little walkthrough. That was the original plan when we were going to do.
Well, that's a great idea, Rin. And Hormesis will be doing that at World Cup this year.
That's a great idea. I don't know where you guys get all these good ideas.
I don't know where you get this idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're just genius, bro. You're really
episode
genius.
like 98 of the Spicka Span Show or something like that.
You're a genius, bro.
Yeah.
Like super smart.
I actually thought about reusable rockets being shot into space, but then someone had already done it.
Totally.
So
you were the first one, yeah.
It was me.
Yeah.
It was me. It was all me.
Electric cars.
Oliver, we're gonna give you this wine bottle to drink.
Earpieces. Earpieces.
Quan.
This
See what
this is actually it's nice.
I think that's called a Nebuchadnezzar.
I think it's bigger than that.
No, Nebuchadnezzar.
Bigger than a Gary bomb.
Bigger than the Gary bomb. So next time, we were saving this for when you came into town.
Yeah.
You didn't come,
Next time I come, I just want to drink it and just pour it all over me.
There we go. I like that.
I want a wine.
How many wine
bath.
bottles did you say was in here?
Yeah. I'm gonna guess 18.
6 or 7.
8.
That's Brian. You used to drink that like on a good night back when we were.
Yeah, that was a thirsty Thursday right there. looks like a Diddy party. Oh, 6 bottles. That's light work. That is light work.
That a boy. I like your audience.
Yeah, they're great.
Okay, so Ryan, if Diddy called you in 1998 to go to one of his parties, would you have gone?
Yeah, without a doubt. You would too.
We asked that question to a few people, and they're like, "No, I wouldn't have gone."
I wouldn't have gone. Okay. Yeah, right. Are you kidding me? I thought I would think it would be pretty interesting. Like, why are you calling me exactly?
Hey, is this Ryan Greenspan? This is Puff Daddy. I need you to come to my party.
Puff Daddy. I know you would have gone.
Shut up and listen.
Shut up
I gotta
and
make
listen.
this quick.
Oh man.
I mean, if I went to Moondoggies on Thursday night, I definitely would have gone to a Puff Daddy party.
Yeah, dude. We all would have. Everybody watching this.
All
would've.
white.
As a matter of fact,
All
I think
white.
there's probably people in this chat right now that would have gone if he called them tomorrow. Hey, I'm out of jail. You want to come to my party? They're like, hey, you know, let's see what all the rage is all about. I don't know. Like, that was pretty cool. Is it one of those mansions in Hollywood? Oh yeah. I've never been to one of those things. I've never seen the Hollywood sign. Let's go. Let's check it out. I'm just excited to go to a party in a mansion, man. You guys got mosquitoes there? Should I bring my my zapper? Here. But this
So
is
what's
cool.
next for Spicka Span Show?
You know, just
Next Tuesday.
Just next Tuesday is what's next.
How many subscribers you guys have now?
Dude, we're cruising right now. We got the NECTR boys just got 20 donated. Chris Sawtell, you know, the views are up somehow.
Well, you know, PTG died, so you just probably swooped in all their viewers.
Yeah, they're probably like, God damn it, I just need something to fill the void. I guess I'll just listen to these two yahoos yammer about. I don't even know what is going on right now. Hopefully, I win a prize. Just get to the prizes
What's
already.
happening? Does PTG still? They're gonna.
No, there's still a
something?
thing.
You
I
guys
think
know?
I think they're just hashing it out. I think it's episode 300 is next, so I think they're gonna really. This is probably all part of like this master plan, as they say.
It's a stunt. It's
Yeah.
a stunt. It's a stunt.
Yeah.
It's a stunt. It was a
Yeah.
stunt.
Plan.
It was a full stunt.
It's a full stunt.
Full stunt.
Exactly. And
We were like
We love stunts.
yesterday. We were like, should we have on the show tomorrow? We were throwing around ideas, and I was like, wait, Oliver was supposed to be.
Yeah.
We gotta call him.
yeah.
Why don't you guys get Tyler? Get his side.
You know, one of the things about it is like, as someone's like, how long do you think this is gonna go on for? Like, is it gonna be a thing for forever? It's like pretty bad, huh? I go, it's gonna go on for as long as we talk about it. In reality.
That's a good point, bro. Yeah, let's stop talking about
Stop
it. Let's
talking
not
about it.
put it in magazines. Let's not put it on. Yeah, it's just stupid in general. You know, all around.
So,
I love you guys.
yeah, thanks, man.
Love you.
I appreciate
Kyle,
it.
when are you
dude.
coming back to Bali?
Soon.
What about me?
You got kids.
Yeah, imagine going to Bali.
With all those kids in?
Ryan did
I
come
don't know
to
if they have
Bali
cars
with
that'll
Sloan.
fit that.
They don't.
situation.
Yeah, Europe.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah.
They do now. But Brian did come with Sloan. That was fun.
Yeah, I'd like to come back. I feel like December is always a good time.
Yeah.
December.
December into January.
It is a good time.
I was gonna ask, and someone wrote something about it in here, but I know it's kind of like put on pause. But were any of like these like tariff questions starting to be an issue for you?
No, because
that's
that's only if you're really doing like big orders, like bulk, like in a cargo ship, you know, from China, where you have like hundreds of thousands of dollars of freaking inventory. You know, we're not even close to that. You know, I send a bag like this big. You know,
I got a box that had so much tape wrapped around it. The customs officers were probably like, I'm not. You guys gonna retape this? I'm not. Let it go. Just let it go.
that's the trick.
Yeah.
That's the trick. You know, when you go to the airport and they put the saran wrap all over your bag.
Exactly.
Yeah, like if I was a drug smuggler, I would just do that like 1,000 times, and like people be like, I'm not opening that, you know.
Exactly. I see those things. It was so funny that those things are even in business, and the people are like, I need to
be funny, like it could be like a funny joke to like just like take bricks of like, you know, like baby powder or something like that and like wrap it up and then put it in there and see if it got through, and then people like
Sugar.
open it and
So I saw that on a skit.
What happens too when you like have a lock on your thing and then they need to go in it? They just bust the lock open.
Oh no, it was yeah. Well, you're supposed to have a TSA lock, so they'll just cut it. So all locks on suitcases are TSA approved, so TSA can get into it. There's actually a police thing, a body cam footage of this guy who was just like had his salt in bags and he was messing around and he got like busted and they're like, "What is this?" And they handcuffed him and he's like, "It's just my salt." They're like, "Yeah, right." And then it was salt. Like, why would you carry your salt like this, man?
Dude, people. The thing is what I've like, especially traveling in Asia. Dude, people just pack the craziest stuff. Like the other day, I saw this woman. She had like,
Cobra.
freaking thing of like Chinese soup like packed and taking it onto her carry-on, and the guy was like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Oh, it's soup." It's like people just really bring weird stuff on. I bet they're just so tired of like dealing with weird stuff. They're like, "Oh, okay."
It's like when you go into the customs area and they see that you see that giant thing of things that were confiscated, and like, how would someone bring a hippopotamus into the thing? Why was that even a deal? Like, what is going on here? Oh, I just lost the light. Is it time to? What are you doing? Do you want to say goodbye to everybody because we're wrapping up? Sure.
Is that Camille?
Well, I put a poll up here and I said, who thinks Hormesis needs to buy another tour bus and go on a 1v1? I said if we get 100% of all the votes, then we'll give Alex's phone number. But somehow somebody voted no on it. I don't know how that worked.
No, so that was probably from Hormesis Productions.
84 votes. What's 8% of 84?
Well, okay, so I would like to do that. People need to buy headbands. So go to hormesisattire.com and buy some product.
Go to Hormesis. Alex went onto all of his accounts and said no. Go to hormesispaintball.com and buy some more stuff. Support the sponsors. Support the people who are supporting paintball. Is the big one.
That's right. So we can buy a bus so we can go on a one-on-one tour with Sloan.
Sloan, you ready for play some one-on-ones?
No.
Yep, sorry, I signed you up.
Oh, Sloan, you lost your teeth, huh?
Mm-hmm. Dad, why you sign me up first?
Let's see.
You have to one-on-one
Let's see
paintball.
the smile.
No!
Yeah, you drew Tyler Harmon in the first round. Yeah, Uncle Ty. Remember last week?
No, I don't want to.
And then you got A-Rod next.
And then
No fair.
Uncle Ty's really good.
I'm gonna do with
Sloan,
Mr.
what'd you get from the Tooth Fairy?
100
Sloan,
bucks.
Sloan, what'd you get from the Tooth Fairy with those two front teeth?
$100.
$100? What's the going rate for Tooth Fairy? For Tooth Fairy 2025.
I heard the Tooth Fairy gets $5.
No, she got me 100. And I do not like. And if you wait, that says
Somebody's lying around here. Somebody's
Don't
lying.
read this word.
Dad.
Don't read these words.
Dad.
Somebody's lying.
Dad at
Dad, yeah.
Dad.
softball.
Okay.
Dad at softball.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and a couple things. We have a couple more announcements really quickly. Okay, hey, enough. Before everything signs off, I do want to do a spin for giveaways. But first, we didn't get a chance to set it up this week because it's been extremely busy. This is a little bit of a heavy portion of the show here.
What are we gonna do?
Sloan, enough, real quick. It's a little bit of a heavy part of this of the show, and we are going to set up a fundraiser for Jerry Caro, who just passed away. It's very unfortunate if anybody who has been fortunate enough to know Jerry, tremendous player, really good guy, and this stuff happens in life in general, especially when people are in a more public place. It seems to happen more often, and it's just something that's truly tragic. And it seems to happen, often these days. And so hearts are with, his teammates on Even Harris on NYX, and this funds are going to go to his mother and help with funeral proceedings and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and get some donations going. We'll do it next week. I'll gather some stuff up. I just didn't have time this week to set everything up. I know it's not much of an excuse for that, but RIP for that one.
Don't say P.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like any type of death in any type of way is very unfortunate, obviously, and unfortunately also a part of this reality. But what I just always ask, it was obviously a heavy couple weeks in the sport, and that was kind of also one of the reasons why I want to get out of America, because I really felt it. And I just really want to just say that, when these things happen, actually, this is the time for us to get more bonded and to become more of a tight-knit community, because you start to see how incredibly fragile life is. One moment, your whole life can change, or one moment you can die, and it's just unfortunate. And so in these moments, we need to all come together and recognize again how much we appreciate each other and how much we appreciate the sport, and how grateful we are for this life, because it is fragile, and it can be taken away. I didn't know Jerry, so I wasn't necessarily personally so deeply affected by it because I didn't know him, but I was very affected by just the notion and recognizing, man, if I was to not wake up tomorrow, or one of you guys were, like, how incredibly sad that would be. And I need to actually live this life in honor of you guys and love you guys that much more and become better friends with you guys because we have that time now,
Yeah.
So let's take that now, and that's again kind of back to that selling time thing. It's like time is actually ticking on all of our clocks,
Yeah.
Yay! Who is that?
And I do appreciate you guys, and I do really value what you guys do for the sport and, the people who support you. You guys are all a big part of it also. So I appreciate you guys, and again, unfortunately, these things have to happen for us to recognize those things, but I really do appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. Well said.
And Ryan, you are genius. And you've been misunderstood your whole life, Ryan, and I'm sorry.
Apology accepted.
Sweet.
Well said, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate kind of giving that. I think a lot of people are really, really happy to hear from you, happy to see you as much as they are, and it's always a pleasure when you come on. It's always fun. And when I see you in person.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, Sloan wants to say goodbye to you.
Bye, Sloan. Love you.
Bye.
Oh, cool. You missed it. She just threw
He nailed it.
Picked flowers and threw flowers all over the.
It's better to do that with Cheetos, Sloan.
We don't have Cheetos in this house.
You get the vacuum.
No.
Clean it up.
Yeah.
No, I don't even have a vacuum.
Yeah, your mom does.
Yeah, your mom does.
Yeah. Yeah, Dad.
Thank you. This is great. Can't wait for the two boys to grow up and be even half as mischievous as her. Let's not throw these everywhere. We gotta clean them up. This area is already.
Your kids are I'm the biggest fan of your kids because they just obliterate you and you can't do anything about it.
Dude, nothing. We have this.
JK.
Yeah.
Oliver.
It's
Oliver.
It's already beginning. It's already beginning. They're super mobile now, and they just know. They just make a mess, and then they look right at you and smile. They'll put their hands in the dog bowl and start splashing around, and then they just look up and smile.
Dad, someone.
Gotcha.
Dude, they know. All right. Gotcha. You did get me.
Actually, no.
Well, enjoy it.
See you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
In the future.
Yeah. Have
your
fun in
day
the
ahead.
future. Yep.
Let us know lottery picks for us tomorrow.
Yeah, it's sunny.
All right.
It's always sunny.
See you guys.
All right, bud.
Later, Oliver.
Peace.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's us right there, huh? Let's get rid of this thing. Zoom cam.
Let's hurry up, Dad.
Okay.
We're putting on the campfire, remember?
We're putting on a campfire. You are right.
You wanna
Diego
join us?
Santos.
Yeah.
So I'm winning. I've got the wheel spinning. These are mega support status members. We've got one more. We got two more wheel spins here for the mega support status members, and then we're gonna spin the wheel for our boat members.
All right.
Yeah, we set up the boat membership a while ago. I haven't really promoted yet.
I got a gift for the
Dude, Patch
boat
keeps
member
on
here.
winning. Yep. So we're gonna put we've got a gift that we're gonna throw in like a monthly gift for the boat members, right? This is our highest
Dad,
tier.
ready?
Almost
To
ready.
put on the fire.
Yeah, I'll let you know, honey. This is a nice shirt though. Is it on backwards? No. Our fun.
Oh yeah.
You just won yourself a Gen X Global Prize bet.
Backwards.
All right.
Get you some pods out.
So let's go ahead and let me just go ahead and change the membership thing. What are you doing over there? Please keep your shirt on back there, Miss. So again, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Put your shirt on. Get out of here. We're gonna give the boat members. Kyle, you want to show it off real quick?
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
This for the kids. That is the back. And I'm sorry, but I take it off.
All right. So
I got this.
And I got this.
For one lucky boat member. Boom.
oh, there we go. All right. So
And some other some nectar.
oh yeah, we got
We
some.
got some other little goodies.
That has this.
All right, so we're gonna spin the wheel. This will be the last one of the day, and
This is not the last
It seems like
Who's gonna win it?
seems like we got the winner here. We got one winner.
Ryan Greenspan.
Almost. It's Mr. Kev. Hold on.
Don't
2.0.
say it's Mr. French. Mr. French.
Congratulations to Mr. Kev 2.0, our one and only boat member. All right, Sloan.
Hey, I have to say congratulations to me because I'm
Yeah, she's straight. Yeah.
Because I'm almost 7 and I'm first grade.
Alrighty, everybody, we have to shut it down because Sloan is ruining the show.
No, no.
Okay, no, you're not. All right, everybody, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Guys.
Thank you very much, Sloan. Thanks, everybody. What's a
Span Show.
the boat membership is the top tier membership for the best of all time.
Spicka Span Show.
Why, thank you, Sloan. You are so helpful. You're so helpful. I'm going to put all these things in your bed, and you're going to be sleeping with all these flowers, and they're going to be so itchy.
Stop it.
Oh.
I hate
All right. Say Spicka Span Show one more time.
Spicka.
All right, say it again.
Spicka. Spicka.